eyes.
I got bad eyes.
Don't worry, I'll sit next to you. All right, perfect. You guys are live.
Awesome.
All right, we are live. Yeah, Slayer said, "Brutal, break your Baxter." All right. Said, "Oh shit, another Brutal Baxter stream."
Oh,
I've been
yeah.
aching for
Oh,
more
yeah.
Brutal Baxter.
So how's the sound, guys? Sound okay?
Hopefully everybody can hear us. And
Kai said, "I want Dawg to do his Baxter impression while talking to Baxter."
Did that on the one at the shop. Loud and clear, dog. That's what Gut Soak says. Cool, cool.
Never sleep again. TV said, "Bax is back."
All right, Brian. Well, we're waiting for them to come in. And what did you?
all right, so we're live now.
Yeah,
then.
we're good.
Oh, good to
People are
go.
joining
Good to
in.
go.
See all these names down here? These are people that are commenting and watching.
Ah, cool,
They're all
cool.
talking, anyways.
All right, so we're live. Guess let's start off the show. Got this fresh out on a Bladed Records. Wanted to give you a copy. The Mutated Sex Organ.
Is this Joe's band?
Yeah, Joe and
Joe
Noah. Some of
Yeah.
the sickest gore grind from the U.S. right
This
now.
is the newest record? 'Cause
Yeah,
They had
yeah.
one or two other albums?
Two.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the newest one.
Okay, cool. Yeah, as Joe was talking about it, and I guess he did mention that you're putting out. So this just came out a couple weeks ago.
Yesterday.
Oh, yesterday.
Came out yesterday. Fresh sickness.
Fresh off the
but
press.
if you're into gore grind, like old Regurgitate or Romp a Prompt, Gut, CBT type stuff. I mean, that's good quality gore grind, not some garbage that sounds like crap. That sounds really good. So yeah, hopefully people check that out.
Okay, hell yeah.
The first 100 of that had the bio splattered CD tray, which we still have, but once the first 100 are gone, then it's just the regular version. So yeah, 100 of the limited.
For your releases, do you do pre-orders or you just sell them when they come in?
You know what? I'll put a pre-order up in case people do. I mean, I'm not much of a pre-order guy, but some people like to. So yeah, they have that option.
Okay.
Then when it comes in, ship it all out. And yeah, but really killer gore grind. I think once people hear it, they're definitely gonna like it. So.
Okay.
And
Sweet.
then also,
they just arrived. Fucking what today or yesterday? Yesterday it came. Yesterday.
Yeah.
It came, yeah.
yeah, and then we got the
Regurg-
Tales of Necrophilia, another vinyl pressing from Hell's Headbangers, just came
The
out.
refresh, yeah.
So yeah, this is actually really cool. Check it out. Nice colored vinyl.
Yeah, there's two colors. There's that one, and there's the clearish, marble-ish.
Cool.
And this time, yeah, 'cause I really like those Japanese obi strips.
Yeah, the
So,
Obi strips are cool.
So,
There's
yeah,
a lot
it's
of
got-
flair on that. Show it again.
Sure,
The
yeah.
front. Oh, look at that color. Comes in two variants.
Yeah.
Two variants, so yeah, excited to have that up. And just to clear things up, with regurgitation.
Everybody's asking.
Yeah, because everybody is asking what happened. You just wake up one morning, you're checking your messages, and there's a message from Ben how he's leaving the band, due to like work, personal issues, and it's really disappointing. It really doesn't come as a surprise, but he left the band, so I had to think quick and make a decision quick. And I'm like, well, can I get, somebody to fill in? No.
Yeah, some people were saying that, like, why didn't they, like, Paul or something do vocals, and said, what about guitar? And I was like,
yeah, we need a guitar player with some vocals, I mean, could we do it as a 3-piece? We could, but it's not the same because, a lot of them vocals, they overlap.
Yeah.
You got guitar harmonies, so I thought, the best decision, well, you know what, we got a big problem here. Thought about it, I was like, well, I can't get anyone that quick to fill in, because we haven't tried before, and most people can't really play this stuff. So it's going to be a little bit of work, which hopefully we'll get somebody in and solidified soon. But got to thinking like, well, we got a big problem. What can I do to fix this? So, what, I got on the horn with the guys in Rochevore, and like, told them about the show and how Ben left, and so we got it all together. It's like, all right, well, Rochevore can do it, so then I let you know that, hey,
did you have to like kind of like tug their strings to fucking get Rochefort to play, because they just played Cleveland, and they're like, and even my interview with Chris, he's like, they've only done a couple shows in the last few years, like, so basically not doing a lot of shows. He's like, we just played, like, was he kind of like, I don't know, man, like,
well, things are moving along actually really good in Rochevore. Like I haven't been in the band, I don't even think a full year yet.
It was like November, wasn't it? Something like that?
Something like that I joined. But I haven't been in the band that long, but I'm trying to, steer things in a better direction with them guys. And it's actually going really well. Musically, it's going killer. So yeah, they agreed to do the show. They're actually really pumped about the show.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, I mean, so Rochevore right now is like super hot. And we're moving in the right direction. We got, a lot of new material coming along. Everything's getting written, sounding really good. Everybody's pumped to, be active, do some shows. Let's get this new record out. So yeah, things are going really good with the ride. It's like, oh, thank God. But, it takes time, because I don't want to be, all right, well, I just joined your band, and, now I'm going to do this, and this, change this. And you really can't. But you let them know, hey, here's, what type of direction we should try to go, and, let's see what happens. You got to go slow, but, now things are, like, going really well, so I'm actually super excited for Rochevore.
And that's like an easy drive for them too. That's like an hour and a half maybe.
Yeah, it's not a long drive, so for them it works out good too. So very on fire with Rochevore, dude. I like it.
Oh yeah.
Having a lot of fun in that band, so going down there
Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday. Going down there Sunday to rehearse.
You go down there like in general, like just like a couple times a month, or?
Well, the way I've been doing it, like I'll try to get a song, I'll try to learn it, tab it all out, get it super tight, put my own bit, like if it's a new song, put my bass to it, and then I go out there and rehearse that plus all of the other tunes. So that's how I usually do it. So I got something new every time I go out there. Something new done. That's going along really good. Like some of this newer stuff's fun. It's got a real, just dark, real heavy sound, and the bass I'm trying to put to it is like, real sewage style bass, but still has good licks in it. Trying to keep that low end, but still do other things. And this new stuff I'm really liking. Sounding really good. So
you guys definitely do another full length.
Oh yeah, we're almost there. We got about 6, and I think a couple more started, but they're not really finished. Like I know at Dead by Dawg, we're going to be playing at least 4 brand new.
Okay.
So we're not too far, but the material's being worked on. Some things be switched. Some of the stuff doesn't have vocals to it yet, but the process is going along really good. And those guys, they really wanted to not do shows and just focus on writing. So it's good that we're on such fire that hey, we're gonna keep the writing going and do like Dead by Dawg and do some good live shows. So I'm pretty happy with the way things are going. And then hopefully get Regurg back on track, because I know like me, Tony, and Ben, we want to play out. We've had to not do this show or not do that show, and things have pretty much been like almost like a reunion band forever. So I personally like to be more active, so I'm hoping once we get, you know, a new guy in situated that, boom, we can start, you know, going here, going there, getting more of this new material done.
Do you have any ideas whatsoever who you might have in the back of your mind for replacement? Like any?
I've had a couple people ask. I'm gonna get some tabs sent to them. You know, if they can get through like 1 or 2 tunes, then you know there may be a potential. But it's like if they can't get through like out of the womb, like, oh sorry, bro, you're probably not gonna work out, man. You know, so yeah, they're gonna be able to at least get through that. But you know, there's one candidate that you know I'm talking to, and
younger, older guy.
He's younger than me.
Okay.
You know, so we'll see what happens. You know, I'm not gonna say anything yet, but the dude does decide that it'll work. It'll be great.
Is anybody I know or no?
Maybe, maybe not.
Okay.
You know, I can't really say.
Yeah.
I don't want to confirm or deny or you know start any rumors or anything. So.
Yeah. Now with when Ben pulled out, was what was Dan and Tony's reaction? Were they bummed?
Totally bummed. We all were.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, I can't say we were surprised.
Yeah.
You know, but hey, we love Ben. Wish him the best. You know, I mean, it sucks. Yeah, you know, you agreed to do this show. You should have at least, you know, done the show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then take it off. But you know what? Whatever happens, you know, in his life or whatever. Hey, that's you know his choice. Wish him the best. Still love him. You know, because he's like a longtime brother.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, well, he left. You know, time to move on, and you know, look at the positive of, hey, we're moving on. We're gonna be able to do a lot more. Probably pump out a lot more music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I want to pump out a ton of more music.
Yeah.
You know, with Regurgitation. So we'll see what happens, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna, in the long run, be a lot better. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
What do you guys think of this fucking leprechaun here?
The leprechaun. Yeah, I think I mentioned about a show before.
You did,
and I'm like,
yeah.
well, he's sitting over there. Bring him in the video.
It's funny, like Brian's got probably the most horror memorabilia, collectible stuff I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah,
It's over and it's throughout his entire fucking house. Like all the shit you see in the background, the whole house is like this.
Yeah, that's just a tiny bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, as far as it's in a house outside of like a horror store or something, I'd say this is definitely the most I've ever seen.
It looks like a horror story.
Yeah, pretty much. Like a Halloween horror store.
I mean, I like it.
You gotta show something's
Yeah,
mask.
I like it.
You gotta do a
He's got
walkthrough.
masks, he's got shit all, that's the props.
And it ain't even done yet.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I got so much work to do on this house. It's like,
Now, do you still have a storage facility or everything's at least in the
no,
house?
I got everything cleared because I have 2 storage units. I finally got everything cleared out. I mean, I got tons, like my garage is like full of stuff.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But I'm working on that too. But it's
You
like,
can't even park in there.
no, I don't want to park in there anyway. I'm more of a, park in the driveway.
Even in the
type
wintertime?
guy.
You don't like scraping a windshield?
Nah, I don't mind.
No.
Dude, I just plow right through the snow, dude. I mean,
Who shovels the driveway? Nobody?
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I feel like it.
Yeah.
Sometimes she'll help,
Yeah.
but yeah. I'm not a garage kind of guy.
Yeah.
Even though I'm drinking garage beer, but
Yeah.
I don't really hang out in my garage.
Yeah.
I mean, I even hate mowing my lawn. It's like,
Yeah.
man, I got shit to do. I got things to jam.
Yeah.
Man, I don't want to mow the grass.
Yeah, so it's
Hurry
waste
up, get it done real quick.
Yeah. It's a waste of time.
Mm-hmm. But that's life.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
You want a panorama of the room, maybe later. We'll show some stuff.
Yeah, definitely a lot of stuff. But yeah, under construction. Always tons of work to do. But it's fun.
These guys asking anything, honey?
Alex Preservation Society said Leprechaun looks like the singer from Demoncy. I don't know why I said Demoncy.
Does he?
I don't know.
Who's that one guy with the big nose?
Yeah.
Mortiz?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he copied a little from the Leprechaun.
I'll flex your garage, dude. Yeah, they want to see them.
So Brian says he likes all the leprechauns, including Back to the Hood and Space. Lep in the Hood.
I mean, the Leprechaun in space is pretty brutal, dude.
I agree.
I was definitely funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
JW wants to know, did Brian ever go to Cinema Wasteland?
Many
You gotta see
many
this.
times.
You would know.
Yeah,
Everything
many
is
times,
signed.
yeah.
Everything is signed.
I mean, Cinema Wasteland used to be a lot better though. But
Yeah,
in recent years, it's like, you know, I look at the lineup and well, you know, maybe I'll just go up to party or something. But you know, as far as the guests, it's not as, you know, cool as it used to be. So,
Well, a lot of them are probably dying off.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, that too. But,
Have you ever met Robert England then?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right there.
Okay, shit. Where
Right behind the crate
where'd
monster.
you meet him? Was it cinema or was it somewhere
That
else?
was
or?
one of the early Monster Manias, I think 2003.
Where would that have been?
New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, New Jersey.
So you traveled to a lot of these too, out of state.
Oh, yeah, and they're fun. You know, they're almost, I guess, similar to like going to a death fest. You go out there, you know, you stay for a couple days, you party, you know, buy some stuff, meet some people, and I mean, I've gotten to party with some really cool people.
Yeah.
You know, and it's fun. I have a good time.
Didn't
It's like a death fest. You go out there, you see a bunch of bands, buy some merch, and you party and you have fun. You know, it's all about having fun.
Did you ever see at a lot of these horror conventions, like when you went to Jersey and stuff? Did you ever bump into Will Romer? Because I heard he'd go to a lot of these.
I think I may have seen Will at one convention. I think.
Okay.
One, yeah.
Okay.
But you know, he's from New York.
Yeah.
And, you know, he might go to like Chiller or something. I think one convention I saw him at.
Okay.
Barry Stonefish, what's Brutal Baxter's favorite Regurg song? To play or to listen to?
I would have to say probably Repulsive Genital Disfigurement. That one's probably the funnest. It is very fun to play, as most stuff is, but that's got that, you know, just the way you can get the pit going. You know, let's get the pit going, that pit riff starts. So yeah, that one's fun. I love that tune. I mean, they're all actually pretty fun to play, a little challenging, but I'm ready to move on to new stuff. I mean, Tales is great. I love Tales, always will, but I'm ready to, you know, let's get some new music out there.
Did you guys ever play this Sexhumation song?
Once.
Did you play? You didn't play that Cleveland Shell Downs at the last one? Did you? Okay.
Yeah,
So you did the entire Tales album. So you just did Tales and that? Was that the?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, and that's a good song, but it's like even this other one we started working on is even better than that.
Is that the title yet?
No, I've been, you know, bugging, hey, when will it come down and, you know, let's start stockpiling some of this stuff, you know, get it together, because like he's got material, I got tons of material to sort of get it together and make some new Regurg happen. All about it. Can you grab me another beer? Beer run. They go fast. It happens, you know. You need a beer, bro?
I still got this one I was
Oh,
open.
you got a reinforcement.
Yeah,
Good man. Smart man.
You brought me out
Yeah,
too.
you brought
Smarter than me.
He says I gotta drink up.
Got his drink up. Yeah, Dead by Dawg. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully people come out and support, because it's going to be such a good time.
The tickets have been really going up fast each day now, so we're
Great.
we went up to the club, not up there, as far as talking to everything with the owner.
Did our
Got
last
flat.
walkthrough?
And at that day, that was Wednesday, it was at 267 now, the tickets.
Great.
So there's no question day of it'll be over 300.
Great.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, people should come out and have
So,
fun.
I mean, without a doubt, even if it's just a little over 300 with people in the building, bands and stuff, there'll be easily 400 people in the building.
Great.
So as far as
Glad
people
are
watching,
supporting.
yeah, as far as people being able to watch the bands, like every band will be playing in front of a good sized crowd.
Yeah, that's good.
Because you know when you're playing in front of 10 people for a band, that's gotta suck.
Oh, yeah, it does. It's always fun to jam, but yeah, if there's only 10 people,
Yeah.
you know, at least if you get out of those 10 a couple people into it, it's still cool.
Yeah.
But you know, I just really want to have it do well, because you know, it's going to be fun for everybody, and I think it's good for Ohio to, you know, have something. All right, people, you know, are willing to come out and support this festival, and then, you know, after this one, well, if this one does good, well, go on to something else next year
Yeah,
that
so
is
like-
even better, you know.
So
Already
as
got
far
brought up.
as the part two,
Part two.
more than likely gonna do one regardless, because I'm pretty sure that I'll at least come out close to breaking even. And you know, the first one and starting anything up, you always plan for losing a little bit of money. So I already planned for that.
Well, you have to. You always got to plan that. You know, you don't want to be a carny promoter, bro. If you're going to do a fest or a show, you have the cash up front. You can't.
Oh, yeah.
You can't. You know, like a lot of these promoters, the Carney promoters, they'll hope that they can make the money at the door, then they don't.
No, that's bullshit, dude. Yeah, and then they don't pay the band. I'm like, dude, you should. My motto is, let's say the entire thing you do your budget, it's going to cost you 20 grand. My motto for everything is, you should have that 20 grand. You should plan for not one ticket selling, because that's worst case scenario.
Exactly. That's how you have to do it.
Yeah, I was like, if you can't do that, you have no business putting on a fucking show. None.
Nope.
Yeah, you're just a broke bum that just go fucking home. Big boys are operating.
Yeah. So
You know?
yeah, with the Dead by Dog, hopefully it does really well, and people have a really good time. And then next year, I mean, the possibilities are sort of.
Well,
endless.
here it is. I already kind of talked about it. So you didn't hear it, but I brought it up. I would say it's 50% is now it sounds kind of like outlandish, but here is because I talk a lot to Seth from Centurion Severe Torture.
Oh yes, yeah.
And he, he's always invited me out, like, hey man, you gotta come around Hell and just hang out and shit. I was like, yeah, maybe whatever. And I was like, you know what, I wouldn't mind going out there and hanging out for a few days or whatever. And so when I was thinking, I was like, and especially now within the next couple of years, the presidential thing and the bands getting overseas. Long story short, and talking to Metal Threat, visas are going to be a bitch over the next year or two.
They've been the same.
Yeah, but it's getting really hot. Like, it's because, for example, Maryland had a lot of problems.
See, Maryland didn't hardly have any problems.
No, but I mean, well, for example, they had to expedite certain ones, like, and you have to pay the expedite fee.
Yeah. I mean, you can't, waste your time with shit. You got to be on the ball.
But what I'm saying is,
or if you need it quick, you got to get the expedited and pay more.
So what crossed my mind is, I was like, if I go over there, I was like, I'd go there during summertime. I was like, while I'm there, that way to kind of like, there's a lot of people I want to meet up with over there. Why not just throw a show on while I'm out there?
Yeah.
And as far as when I'm doing the math, I was like, for a lot of bands that I want to see that I've never seen because they're over in that kind of area, I was like, it literally would be cheaper for me to do the fest there because they could either drive or have $200 flights.
Yeah.
I was like, the most expensive flights would be mine and Lindsay's, and I don't need a visa to go to Holland. And what I would do just to kind of like attract, I'd bring at least one US band, then it'd be kind of expensive. But the positive on that is, like with
all the
Attic,
money you're saving over there.
but not only that, but at least
you know,
at least with that it's just flights. They don't need visas. Like for the Attic, I'd buy 5 fucking visas, dude.
Yeah.
That was $3,000 alone just for the visas.
Yeah.
That's not even counting the flights.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't have to dick around with that. That was the biggest hassle of all. And then you're sitting around waiting, like, are they
That's a
getting
huge
approved?
savings,
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
So I was like, if I go out there,
you're throwing out.
yeah, and so that way I'm kind of like, I'm going over there, meet with fans. You could kind of have a meet and greet ground. And if I'm going over there, I just, why not do it? So
I think it's a great idea.
Seth's like, I was like, do you know any clubs? He's like, yes. He's like, there's just one club. I was like, how many's it hold? It holds 500 people. I was like, it's an awesome club. And I think it's which is Tilburg one of those cities in Holland, or is that he told me the city? It's Sound Cave, I think it's called, Rockwave. Yeah, I got the name, and he gave me the info. Cool. I got to contact him. He's like, that's a really good club. He's like, that's like 30 minutes from where I live. And he's like, yeah, they have metal shows all the time. He's like, the club I pro. I was like, so I got to hit them up. I was like, what do you guys charge?
I think it's a great idea, dude.
So it's now the question. But the only way it wouldn't happen is if at this point, is if the club, for whatever reason, can't do it, or if they want outlandish money to have a show. Don't know why they would. I mean, they're a club that do shows. I would think it's
they're a club and they could want lots of money too. Yeah,
so if there's that, if the club's not an option price-wise, and a lot of the bands that I want to have, if they're all like, no, can't do it, don't want to do it, or whatever reason, it's like, all right. Yeah. So it's honestly, it's at this point, as far as it happening or not happening, it's kind of more towards who I get yeses from on shit.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking, fuck it, because I like to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So if I'm going to go over there, why not make it productive as well?
I think it's a great idea, dude.
Have you ever played in Holland, Baxter?
No. We were supposed to tour like there, I think, like 2001, like over in Europe. But Ben left the band at that time too.
Just dude, honestly, he's called Back Out Ben on the channel.
Yeah. I mean, I love Ben, but
he's still Back Out Ben.
Yeah.
No, but I mean something like that, because especially for Howland, it's not a huge deal for me or something, because I've seen them. But it'd be cool, like maybe Regurgitation play over there as a US band, because
we'd love to.
For someone like Howland, they're like, well, I've never seen them.
No, nobody's seen us over there unless you come here or something. Yeah.
I mean, that would be an option. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
I even like the Regurg going out there idea. So hopefully we'll have the guitar player vocalist fixed soon.
Right, yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty confident. I ain't gonna say nothing yet. But if there is somebody out there that is watching this, and you really do love, Regurg's music, and you're thinking about it, maybe go for it. You know, I'll send you like out of the room, send you some tabs, give it a shot. Cause yeah, I mean we are looking for somebody. So you know
You
the
got a
door's
bottle
still open.
My Hell's one fell off.
Mm-mm.
I had one on my
Wait,
keychain.
do you have a bottle opener?
Baxter just uses his thumb.
He's got it. Oh,
He
that's
said
a real
I
man.
had the Hell's one on a keychain and it fucking fell off. That's probably in the car.
I just use my cigarette lighter. I mean,
Yeah.
years of experience.
Yeah. You've been drinking and smoking way longer than I have.
Too long.
Dude, I
man.
didn't try my first weed until I was 31 years
Your
old.
first weed.
First joint, whatever you want to call it.
Did
Pot smoke.
Did you ever get a contact buzz going to the Extreme Music Record store back in the day?
Dude, the reason I never smoked it is you always offered it. I never liked the smell of it.
Ah.
And then when I finally tried it, I'm like, this just gives. I was like, I'm just tired. But and like I didn't try actual smoke cigarettes until I was like 30 or 31. It was because of Lindsay. So all my good habits pawned under her, and all her bad habits pawned under me.
Great. Cheers to you.
But those, but with the smokes, I was like, see, these are good with beer. I was like, so that I liked.
Yeah.
But the weed, I was like, this sucks. I was at my brother's Craig's. I'm like, I'm ready for bed, man. This sucks. This ain't partying. I was like, this shit sucks ass.
I mean, sometimes, yeah, you may smoke a ton of weed, and then you're just like,
Dude, I had like 3 hits, and I'm tired.
wow. You
Yeah.
got sucked into the
Yeah, like
house.
So I was like, fuck this bullshit. This shit sucks.
Well, and I don't smoke weed anymore either.
Yeah, that's just, yeah.
I quit.
So it's easy for, I
Yeah.
just don't smoke, yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah, you got way more experience on me on all of it.
If
You
I
were,
smoked
you were
weed-
smoking weed and cigarettes and drinking when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like a little kid. When
I mean, I like to have fun at a party, you know. Yeah, is it a good thing? No. It isn't, but, you know what? I like to have fun, man. Have fun, enjoy my time,
Yeah.
and, you know, all that good stuff. So,
Don't know how long we're here for. So probably it.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I could be dead tomorrow or next week. I mean, hopefully not. You know, I got a lot of shit to do, but.
So I think we addressed this the first time you were on, but let's just do it again. What's your favorite album of all time?
That's always tough.
I know. I remember you had a hard time with that the first
But
time.
I really like, I guess if I had to pick something, maybe The Last Days of Humanity, but then also like maybe something like Suffocation, Pierce from Within is really good. Immolation, Dawn of Possession. I mean, there's some of those albums, or the Incubus, Beyond the Unknown. Love that one. So there's a couple. I'd be one of those guys if I had the gun to my head, like, I like this, well, this one too, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. You know, you can't just pick one.
No.
I can't.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. What's this guy asked? He, my son was. So Andrew Gabriel said severe torture, Centurion. Are you asking who do I like more?
Yeah, I think he wants to know.
Personally, I personally like Centurion more. And as far as who would I rather play my show, it would definitely be Centurion because they've been gone forever. I've never seen them. I've seen Centurion shit. I saw Severe Torture twice, and Baxter brought him over in the early 2000s. That was back when only Feasting on Blood was out. The best goddamn album Cannibal.
Let's talk about that. Like how did you get him to play like your?
I
like
just always.
If people don't know, you owned. Explain that.
Yeah, I had like, you know, Ablated obviously at the time, but also had a record store called Extreme Music, you know, before the Spanish dude stole the name. But, you know, just like doing the, you know, the fast, because
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, sort of crashed, repulsed, ripped everybody off, and then started at that, and whatever. But yeah, you know, just started up doing the fast. I think the first one was, what, 98?
See, the first one I was at was 2000.
That was Ohio Death Fest.
And those were at the
Before
fantasy,
that-
right? Because I never went to the fantasy ones. The ones I was at
Those
was
are
the
the
Flying
first
Machines.
two, yeah. The last three were at Flying Machine.
And I
But
was at all
before
those.
that, in Sodomized, there was like the Cleveland Death Fest.
That was and you put that on?
Me and Fig, yeah.
And that
Fig
was-
did most of the work. I
And that
only
was
did a little
that
bit.
was before.
That was in 94.
Oh, I didn't even know you did.
95.
I didn't know you did that.
Oh, you never seen those flyers?
No, I thought the
Yeah,
first.
that was Sodomized, which actually Sodomized is back together now. And we're gonna be playing.
And you're playing in that too?
Yeah.
God damn, dude.
Yeah, well, it's Dan from Regurgitation is in it, because obviously drummer Dan loves to jam, play shows, and Fig Newton, I went to high school with.
Do I know Fig Newton?
Yeah, you gotta know Fig Newton from Sodomized.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he the bald guy?
Well, he cuts it real short
Okay.
now, you know, and has a real long beard, but.
I don't know. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But anyway, we had this band back in the early 90s, did a few demos. But anyway, we're putting out like some of the past material that should be out I'm hoping the next couple months, but we're pretty active lately playing shows because obviously, Regurg, banter and everything. Like, well, we'll do shows with Sodomize. So that's been going great. We just played down in, what was it, like Lima? It was killer. Played in Buffalo not too long ago. It was killer. So we're having fun, and we're already starting new material. So we're going to get some of the old stuff out, and then we're going to record some brand new stuff. So, got all that going on. And it's fun. We all get along good. We just want to go out there, jam, party, have fun, play. So that's going really well, too. So keep a lookout for Sodomize.
Okay. Damn.
So who were some other bands that you had in the beginning that you flew over, like French guys?
There was a
right?
ton of bands, yeah. Just a
for example, like Severe
bands.
Torture, like when you had them play, how did you like?
Well, here's the way we would do it back then, because most of those bands weren't really known.
That's what I mean.
Everything was underground, but what you did was you networked. Like, all right, well, I want them to come over for the fest. They are dying to come over for the fest. But what we'll do is there's gonna be some other shows, so you can come over, play some other shows, try to make some of that cost back, because it's even then it was a lot of money for a lot of these bands to come over, but at the end of the day it paid off big time, because like most of those bands that did come over and play, they did really well after that.
Because what I was getting with Severe is
because it was so different back then. They weren't. You didn't know all about them, like
because they're their first record. When you brought them, that's what I'm getting at. Like
and a lot of these bands just had demos out, and like even like Devourment, I think it was one of their first shows playing out here. They only had a couple shows and like a promo tape out, So it's like it was very underground, but those bands wound up booming later on, So it was really cool, really cool.
Alex wants to know, Brutal Baxter, have you ever been starstruck by meeting one of your heavy metal heroes?
No, I don't think I have. I don't think I ever have. No.
Well, they always, what do you say it like
Well,
that?
have you ever been starstruck by meeting one of your horror heroes?
No, not really. No. Just like, it's cool to meet you.
But would you say that the opposite then? Would you say majority of the guys you met were disappointing, or just?
Everyone's usually pretty cool, that I've met. I mean, sure, there's been some grumpy people or whatever, but it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Just sign my shit, sit right there and be grumpy. I don't care, dude, It's going home on my wall anyway, so.
Yeah. Who would you say, as far as metal wise, like bigger metal guys, like let's say whatever, Chris Barnes or Glenn Benton or Tardy Brothers or something, a bigger name? Who would you say hit that criteria where it wasn't like a bad experience, but kind of like he was grumpy or standoffish?
Everybody's always been really cool.
There's nobody else standoffish at all?
No, everyone's usually pretty cool, But then again, you don't want to be a complete douchebag with people either, or bother them, or So, but yeah, most everybody's pretty cool as long as you're cool, respectful, or whatever.
Bump us a snake in my beers, bro.
As Brian said, you wouldn't remember
You
that.
gotta do that. You gotta do the voice.
Well, it's funny because it was at Cinema Wasteland. This is probably like.
It was the first time I met him.
Yeah, I think it was the first time I met Lindsay, so this is probably about 10 years ago. And we were there, and I didn't see you in a few years. And
no, you had been MIA. I heard all about you. It was like
no, but I seen him a few times.
You ran off.
But that wasn't the first time I seen him since the MIA. But it was not many times.
But
since.
I had heard so much about you. I had heard your voice in my head for so long. So when you first started talking to me, I remember I just laughed.
I'll give the people. But I told it at least on one episode.
You did.
Where the Bra came from on the channel. Where that came from is a mix of you and Kanye. Because what it was is Kanye, busted the balls like he did everybody out behind the scenes. Like he always said, no, I like Brian. He's just like, he has terrible taste in music. And he's like, yeah, CBT's brutal, brah. And that's what he would be his impression. So with a bra, just turned into bra, because we'd use that line around the shop all the time. So that was funny.
Yeah, but see, I never say bra. I
never
say bra.
I know, but
that's what makes it so funny.
But Jim would say it to his impression. And me and my brothers, and even our younger brother came along. Craig Stuck was saying for years. So I just turned on the channel because that was our smart ass lingo. So all these kids and shit that watch the channel, they
It's
think
great.
like, but they think it's like me. I'm like, oh, there's a backstory to all this shit.
Backstory and everything, you know.
Total
But it's
backstory.
great. People like it. They enjoy the lingo.
Right,
tell,
right.
Tell the story when I first met him.
Yeah,
you,
so
you have to do the voice.
Yeah, we're at Wasteland, and Brian brings I think it was a 12 pack of Budweiser bottles. And he's just carrying the box around because you're just hanging out and partying, and you're at a hotel. And I'm like, man, you don't even have a cooler for those? Those are gonna be piss warm. Oh no, bro, they'll be fine. And he has them sitting off behind him on like a little ledge. Keep in mind, we're in a hotel like lobby, and there's tons of people hanging out, and there's just one random guy. He goes to just grab.
No, he came up behind him.
I kind of like behind and grab like one of Brian's beers, and Brian's like, "You're trying to snake my beer, bro?" He's like,
I
it's like,
vaguely remember that.
He's like, oh, can I buy one off? He's like, I would have just given you one, but now that you're trying to snake it, I ain't giving you shit.
Yeah, you know, you're gonna be fucking chump like that. Yeah, you ain't getting beer, you know. Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, it was funny than shit. 'Cause we were just standing there talking, and outside front row seats, and it was just some random jabroni. So that was probably whatever year that was, probably
But Brian just
2016,
takes
15.
the beer out of his hand and puts it back into the box.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we
If
all
you're
just
gonna
look
steal,
at
yeah,
each
you
other.
ain't
Piss
getting
warm
it.
box.
Yeah,
They're
piss warm
fine.
box.
What's the thing, you know, usually you go to something like that to have fun. Yeah, you bring your own beer.
Yeah.
You know what, after most of it, you don't care if it's ice cold. I mean, I'm an ice cold beer kind of guy, but after a while, well, you know what, they're not as ice cold. Fuck it. Drink it anyway, you know.
Yeah, when
We're fun having fun.
when you're after your ninth one, I guess it doesn't matter, yeah.
Yeah. If it's a little bit not ice cold, it's like, all right, I guess this will work. You know?
Well, you got.
But here at the house, I keep them ice cold.
Yeah, well, you keep them just in the fridge, right?
Yeah. My fridge keeps the beer ice cold.
Everybody loves that.
Doesn't have much shelf life, but you know how that goes.
Ooh, Steel Reserves. Remember those? Ooh. Oh, those are bad. It's almost as bad as that fucking Hulk Hogan beer. Oh.
The real American beer. I actually
So
liked it.
bad.
I
It was
liked
so
it.
bad.
Yeah, I liked it. But then again, I even had a Beast Ice Kick for a while. You know, I was
Oh,
drinking
God.
that stuff. Yeah. But it's like high octane beer.
I
you
can't
know?
trust your judgment anymore.
Yeah, definitely not on beer, you know.
Do you drink craft beers at all, right?
No, no.
He doesn't strike me as a craft beer.
No, I'm more of just a, you know,
Is it because you don't like the taste, or because they're more expensive, or?
the taste.
Okay.
You know, because a lot of that beer, it's like, man, it's so potent.
Heavy,
Yeah.
I drink a ton of that, and
Yeah.
fucked up. You know,
Yeah.
a little too fucked up. Then with all that hops and it's
You're getting old.
yeah,
man.
not for me.
Yeah.
Like more of the just regular, you know,
Pilsner.
piss beer, as
Yeah.
people would probably call it. You know,
Do you drink Bush?
I'll drink Bush. I'll drink Pabst. I mean, I don't really like Pabst, but you know, if someone's got a nice cold Pabst.
Come on, a
if
good
you want,
PBR.
I'll drink it. You know, yeah, I'll drink it.
Good PBR is not bad.
Yeah, definitely not the best beer. You
It's
know.
not bad though. I'd take that over that fucking Hulk Hogan beer.
The Hulk Hogan beer. Yes,
I
like
hated
the
it.
Hulk
Have you ever
beer.
met the Hogues?
Mm-mm.
We could have.
Oh, you
So
should
you know,
have, bro.
well, not well. I was going to, but so it was for his beer.
Mm.
You know so you know where the warehouse is, right?
Yeah.
Right at the end of the street, you could pretty much walk. Is a newer drug mart. He was
Yeah.
doing a meet and greet there.
Oh,
for
you
his
didn't
beer.
go up there.
Dude,
Oh,
you can't park.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
It was like dude, a 3-hour line,
5
and
hour.
there was literally no parking space. Like you couldn't and the cops were there. I was like, oh wow, the fuck this. I was like, I was
Yeah.
30 minutes. Yeah, I could do that, but I'm not waiting hours. I was like, where the hell am I gonna park?
Mm.
The people were parking on the grass and shit.
Damn, at that plaza there.
Yeah, yep.
By
This was
Marks
just
and-
like 4 months ago or
They
so.
put,
This was
they put a brew garden. So after he signed stuff at Drug Mart, he went to the brew garden. So you
Mm.
couldn't even. You couldn't
you
even.
couldn't do shit. I was like, oh fuck yeah. But when I heard about it when it was announced, it was actually Chuck that told me about it. I was like, yeah, I'll go and meet the host,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
But I was I'm not. I mean, what the fuck?
Oh. Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
I like when he turned bad and pissed everybody off.
In ECW.
Somebody
Or
did ask.
WCW.
Did
WCW,
you like,
yeah,
I love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I
did
thought
you
that
like?
was the
Do you like
coolest.
wrestling? Somebody asked.
I
Like,
used to, you know, but it's like I don't really watch any of it now.
Yeah,
But
same.
I always like the old shit. You
Yeah,
know?
the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, shit was pretty cool. Very entertaining, you know.
Jay sent a super chat for Brian, but it doesn't make a lot of sense, Jay. So maybe clarify. Hey Brian, can you rank the top 5 white boys to ever do it? Ever do what?
Don't know. I don't know what he's talking about.
Top 5.
Don't know. You can be more specific.
I mean, half the scene is, if you're talking about metal bands, it's all white boys. Like, so yeah, what exactly do you mean?
Wrestling's mostly white boys. That's all we've been talking about. So I don't know.
Must like white people, I guess. Great. That's cool. Cool.
Let's see. Oh, can't you say kids these days? Agreed.
Surprised there's not a paid question from a Cat Shades.
I know.
Somebody-
He
Yeah.
must be on the shitter.
Oh.
He's always on that shitter.
Wait, Jay clarified. He said, "Let me be specific. Top 5 Wigger slammers."
I'm not much of a Wigger Slam guy, so I really can't rate it, you
Do you
know.
even have a one that you know? I mean, yeah.
There's a lot of them, I guess you could call them like, Wigger Slam, but, not really my thing. I mean, some of it I may like, but.
What do you consider? And because I'm poking fun. When guys like myself, and again, backstory to it, I'm poking fun. When I call bands like Suffocation stuff, which I like Wigger bands or Devourment kind of Wiggers, because it kind of not because so much them, but it kind of attracts some of those fans.
Yeah.
What would you say if I call these goddamn these Wiggers? What would be your response to that?
I'd laugh.
But I mean, would you be thinking
I'd
would you be thinking let's say you didn't know me? Would you be thinking this guy's an idiot? Suffocation ain't Wiggers, bro.
No,
Would you
No.
be like, I see where he's coming from?
I think a lot of people would.
Okay.
I mean, everything. There's a lot of stuff that has, possibly that potential, or if you really know somebody, or whatever, So yeah, it's got a lot of potential.
Now in that category, would you ever consider in a million years Cannibal Corpse to be a Wigger band?
No, can't
So-
really say I could.
Want to hear a funny chase story? We're in a Hell's meeting, and we're talking about it was something updating the website and searching by genre and bands being so you can search by like black metal and subgenres and stuff like that. And Chase like, yeah, because it's lumped in. You can't have crossovers. If guys searching like fucking like raw black metal, he can't have this goddamn what's this fucking Wigger ass Cannibal Corpse popping up. Just stuff like I was like, I don't think anyone in the history of I don't like them ever considered Cannibal Corpse Wiggers.
I mean, maybe he knows something that we don't.
I think he just said it.
Yeah.
And even like told like Chuck and stuff working, they're all laughing like, what? Like I don't think anybody thinks that.
Maybe he's been listening to Wigger Slam,
Maybe. This Wigger ass
Yeah, I
Cannibal
guess Wigger
Corpse.
Slam's probably been around for a while.
A little one,
you
well,
know?
yeah. It seems like that post Devourment and stuff, there was other bands, and you had like Vomit Remnants come along, and then bands really try to take it to the next thing where it's.
Yeah.
Bumba said dying fetus. Yo, 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 dying fetus.
It's got those again, but if you listen to the music, it's not. It's just, but it has those fans.
Yeah. A lot of it does, because a lot of it, there's a lot of bands out there that, you could totally say, oh, yeah, that's total Wigger Slam, but it's actually really good. Some good stuff. So a lot of that, it's like, they look a little Wigger-ish or whatever. Whatever. If their music's good,
Yeah.
cool. I dig it. If you want to, dress like that or whatever, to be the Wigger and the Wigger Slam, hey, that's on you. You do you, But if your music's cool, hey.
But did you see the bands like that? I pronounce it wrong.
Tons of them.
But there's that
Tons of them.
epicardectomony or some shit like that.
Epicardy, yeah.
Yeah.
But dude, like I ripped on the singer on one thing. Dude, he's literally in a full-blown sports jersey, sideways cap, and the drummer, dude, he's got a gold necklace and a fucking grill. Like I was like, these guys, they're purposely like amping it up. Like they have to be.
A lot of them.
I was like, they're literally running with it as
that's
a
like,
shtick at that point.
Bringing that comedy to a lot of it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the gore grind bands do a lot of really goofy stuff. But I think a lot of them, they just do it, just for attention
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, at that point, almost to try to do something different.
Yeah, a little bit comical.
Because I was like, dude, these guys,
I get it,
these guys, as far as if they listen to heavy music or extreme music or metal, I was like, there's no way that they're naturally into that. I was like, they're just amping it up because they're running with it and taking it more extreme.
Yeah. And I think at least from what I see and think, I could be wrong. A lot of the European stuff, a lot of them put a lot of that weirdness into what they're doing, and it's been like that for a while. Like the gore grind bands, always put something weird or whatever into their music, even and their live shows. So I think that's been around for a while. You know, more in Europe than it is here, obviously. You know, in my seeing of it all. You know.
Well, you know what's funny is I didn't think much of it because I do like that debut record, and I liked them live. But as far as kind of like that wigger image, maybe I overlooked it and gave them a pass because met them, they're friendly guys, and the fact they're from Japan. But it was actually at your fest, Vomit Remnants.
Oh, Vomit
They
Remnants.
were literally in sports jerseys and shit, but it was kind of like funny, cool because they didn't speak any English. And how did you like set that up with? Because then I was there. We actually had photos from that show. Me, Eric, and Chase took.
Yeah.
And had our photo with them. I mean, when we met them, I got a group photo. Like they didn't speak any English. So like, how did you even set that up?
Well, you know what was really cool is when they got here. You know, 'cause I went snagged them from the airport and everything. And I think at the time I was staying at a hotel or something, but I'd gotten them an adjacent room, and you know, and it was funny that they got there, and you know.
I'll use that after
Oh,
you then.
oh yeah, tiny
Reader
rooms.
smokes.
Smokes?
Well, he said you gotta have them.
Somebody
You
Otherwise,
gotta have some smokes. and
Smoke
some
it
weed,
inside.
dude.
I'll fall asleep on the couch. You'll be doing all the talking.
Hey, we'll keep the show going, you know. But yeah, Vomit Remnants, and I remember that. You know, they were all sitting down, and you know, after we got there, and I'm like, brutal American custom smoked weed. You know, was that a bong or whatever?
When they knew.
And, you know, they couldn't speak English. You know, so we packed up the bong, we're all getting high, give it to them. They all, you know, hit the bong, you know, because it's brutal American custom, you know, you know, for death metal, you gotta smoke weed. You know. They all did, and they all wound up passing out.
Yeah, see, like me.
They're all out. And then the cops came later that night, you know, so they didn't know what to think. You know, I got rid of the cops. Cops seen me going out of a window.
Oh my god.
Into a, I don't know, I can't remember. But yeah,
Well, it's funny with them
and-
too, is because I don't even, especially even nowadays, but especially back then, I don't even know what the laws in Japan are for weed. Is it super illegal? Is it legal?
Yeah,
is
I don't know,
Is it kind
man.
of gray area?
I have no clue,
Yeah.
man. All I know is that they were true sports. You know, they wanted to keep with brutal death metal, and you know what? They all hit the bomb.
Well, they couldn't hang. They're passed out sleeping.
Passed out, but man, they put on a great show. And, yeah, really cool. Dude.
Well, like yeah, see, I don't like a ton of bands in that style, but that it's catchy. Like it's catchy.
Yeah.
Like
and they were even better. I thought live.
I enjoyed
on
that.
tape, you know, like the demos were really good. You know, but live, it's like wow, you know, real energetic and.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just loved, you know, brutal death metal from America at that time.
Yeah.
They loved it, and you know, so for a band like them, they were honored to, you know, play with like Eternal Bleeding and you know, Devourment, Disgorge. I mean, you know, because they knew those bands were up and coming killer bands. So yeah, it worked out good. Fun times, dude. Fun times.
Did I ask you that? I think I did, but I can't remember your answer. Maybe you said you don't know. Matty Way from Disgorge. Like, what happened to him? I know he works for Unique Leader, but like, why doesn't he do music? He doesn't reply to email. I try to set up interviews.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a while, so.
Like he doesn't reply. Like I'm like, because I asked about doing the She Like Gutted on vinyl. I'd like to do a Zoom interview with them. Just like, look, like I mean, I was like, I mean, like nothing. Like the only time I met him at Ohio Death Fest, watched them. I enjoyed them live.
Mm-hmm.
I like those records he's on. Well, I like pretty much all the Discord records. But he just kind of like felt. I know he did a few other bands like here and there, but even that was years
He
ago.
was
It's
doing
like,
some vocals for Abominable Putridity.
okay, no, there's like but he's in another band. There's a full length. I forget the name of it. It was post Discord, maybe like 2008ish, 10. I would know when I heard it.
Remember.
Yeah.
I don't think.
But I mean, I don't think he's done anything in at least 10 years. He's just kind of like.
Other than that AP, I've seen him a few years ago, but yeah, I haven't really talked to him since. So yeah, who knows? Who knows?
The last time you like talked to him, like, was this early 2000s or is this?
No, this was
From
I'd
Matty
say
Wade.
maybe 5 or a few more years.
From Matty did?
Yeah,
What, you talked to him through phone or in person?
in
or?
person.
Where was that at?
Las Vegas.
And okay, so what was he out there for?
Who was he playing with? I can't even remember who he was playing with that night.
Okay, so maybe he was doing something more recent. I know.
Yeah. This was one of the later Las Vegas Death Fests. Yeah, and I seen him out there. Hey, what's up?
Did you ever? Because I know you like those albums a lot, but did you feel like? And I'm not saying I think this, but I just remember me and my brothers thinking like, yeah, it's good, but it's more brutal shit. Like, maybe it was just me as a kid, but at Ohio Death Fest, I remember when they went on stage and he came out, you would have thought fucking Elvis Presley came on stage. Like, did you think it was like overhyped, or like were you like?
No, I always thought his vocals were really good. They were great vocals. I mean, and I think at the time, a lot of people, they really did look up to him.
Yeah.
Vocally, because he had really good vocals. Pulled it off live. I mean, sang for Disgorge, dude.
Yeah.
Multiple good albums. So yeah, he's pretty legendary.
So Mike C said, gonna be shipping those Regurgitation LP soon. I have mine on pre-order. They came in yesterday. You want to show it again?
We're shipping them. We started shipping them today. So yours probably shipped today. If it didn't, it'll ship Monday. Because we sold I think we sold like 200 of those in pre-order,
I
Ryan.
told you.
It's awesome.
I know.
Well, people are picking it up.
I know.
Yeah, it comes on some nice wax.
2 variants. This is the splatter version, and then there's an awesome marble version that I like this better. I think this looks way cooler, but the marble version looks great.
There's a couple.
And it's got a poster in it and shit too.
Super chat. Alex Preservation Society. Thoughts on Rhapsodies and Red, Disastrous Murmur?
Rhapsodies, baby.
I think it's great. I liked everything by Disastrous Murmur, actually. I thought all their stuff was good.
Punch and Stench.
Yeah. It sounds like Punch and Stench, both from Austria, but no, I thought Disastrous Murmur was a great
Disastrous
band.
Murmur is good, dude. I like that.
Yeah, same.
Good shit.
Yeah, it was cool to see when Osmos Records repressed that on vinyl with the original cover and shit. It was fucking awesome. Of course I picked that up. And there's I think we have some in stock. You did CD LPs of both the demos.
Yeah.
That's great shit.
Oh, people need to order that shit. If you got that shit, order that up.
Yeah.
Definitely, especially if you're into like the old Punch and Stench.
Yep.
Yeah, Disastrous Murmur is one of those bands that I don't think they ever really got big or popular, but
Yeah, no.
yeah, I guess maybe a cult following, you could say.
It's funny because
They're good. Definitely check them out. Like Disastrous Murmur.
Mortician covered them on Domain of Death.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny they covered both Punch and Stench and Disastrous Murmur on the same disc.
Dude, I loved old Punch and Stench.
That shit's fucking great.
Oh.
I know. And I don't think you were there. I interviewed Martin, that Shrike plays Punch and Stench, but it's two original, 2 out of 3. It's basically without Alex Wink, the drummer. They were great, dude. All they played was old shit. It was fucking awesome, and I did an interview with them. It's a really good interview.
Yeah, the last time I seen them, it was we played that California Death Fest, and they played, and they were killer. I thought, dude.
Yeah, I mean his voice sounded really good. Everything sounded like everything was
sounded good.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was the same bass player though.
It is. He looks like a total fucking weirdo by his own account too. No, it's the original bass player. Doesn't look like he's in metal at all. Cause I was like, do you want to jump on the interview? He's like, I don't have much to say, but I had both of them sign my LPs and shit. It was 2 out of 3
Maybe
guys.
it wasn't him in California.
It might not have been, but it was definitely 100% of this mini tour they did. They came to Cleveland. It was 2 out of 3 guys, just because they don't get along with Alex.
We got a super chat. The Crooked Toaster. Sup, homie. Currently at work listening. Wanted to ask Baxter, do you do anything to maintain your voice currently? Finding my voice for my band Gut Shovel, and finally found a comfortable technique. See you guys at Dead by Dawg.
You know what the best way to do it is when you're in your car and you're driving, crank up some tunes, and you just practice with the tunes while you're driving.
But so you're whatever vocal style you are, so let's say if you listen to Deicide, do it to that, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and because depending on how your style is, you're going to want to practice that whole range. Like I'll do a lot of sort of where almost I'll start super low, and I'll just try to hit the whole range and go up and up and up like that, to keep that there. But yeah, I mean, it's all with anything practice. You got to practice and try to use more of your diaphragm. Don't use your throat because you'll roach your voice out. Like I see a lot of these guys all the time.
Like Chris Barnes?
Do you think, it's funny because he didn't say it. I said it. It might have been off camera though. Cause we hung out for about another hour with Glenn Benton after I did the interview, and I can't remember if he said it on camera or off. But he has said it there, and he said in other things that he always sings from his diaphragm.
Yeah.
And Chris Barnes got brought up. He's like, yeah, poor Chris. Like he destroyed his voice. Now, do you think it's because? Do you think all the years, like doing all the touring and shit, do you think Chris was singing from his throat, and that's what happened?
Yeah.
So you think it's totally like why his voice does not sound the same?
That maybe, or maybe some other issues, but I've always seen over the years a lot of these guys that are more using just their throat, it's tough. They got lozenges and all this and teas and honeys and some of them need pain pills and and it's like well that's your style of how you sing and that's the price you pay.
What did you think about some bands for that style? I remember some bands hating on it, but bands use it like they use pitch shifters and stuff like that.
I love it.
Okay, so because there's some vocalists that say, yeah, no, it's natural only. If you can't do it, it's not real.
No, I like pitch shifted vocals. But they sound good. It's all about how it sounds, and either it sounds killer or it sounds like shit. You know what? If I enjoy listening to it, I don't care if it's pitch shifted.
Now, would you say
I love the toilet bowl fucking garble,
Now, you'd say the first band that ever introduced the pitch shifting had it in Carcass, right?
Probably. I mean, there may be some other band out there that we don't know, but yeah, I mean, Carcass, early on.
Yeah.
But those lows are always really good.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how many bands are spawned because of it. So.
1,000%, yeah.
So yeah, pitch shifted vocals, I like them.
What is this? Meg Mucklebones Baxter, would you ever kiss a dead girl? If you saw how hot his chick is, he doesn't have to kiss a dead girl.
I ain't got to,
He's got a hot ass chick. She's over there. She doesn't want to be on video either.
I mean, you gotta like hot Russian women, right? I mean, yeah. But I guess if she was dead, I would still kiss her. She was hot, so yeah, if she died, I'd still kiss her.
True Tales
Pet her a little
necrophilia.
bit.
They asked about cats too. There is a cat here because we have so many
Elizabeth
cats.
Bathory, the cat.
But she's hiding.
Yeah, she's probably
Which is
hiding.
our cat's name is Lizzie for Elizabeth.
Oh,
Bathory.
okay, nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think maybe the cat's afraid of dogs. I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
She ran
Got
away
the dog
from me.
here.
Well, usually the ladies are always afraid of the dog.
Jason said Baxter's got a hot wife. She's Russian too. Bro's killing it.
Killing it.
Just killing it in life.
Yeah. And what's really cool is when you have someone that you are with that isn't bitching about the metal, the death metal. Because I can't put up with that.
Or
Have
the
you ever
horror
had-
movie,
have you ever
or
had
the
to deal with
horror
that, though?
movie stuff too.
Yeah. Over the years, yeah.
Because it seemed like you only, like, if you were ever dated, it seemed like it was always somebody that somewhat listened to metal.
No, not all the time. But,
Okay.
a lot of
Did
times
they
they
look
start
like
bitching
it?
about the death metal. Well, you gotta go.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
Kick them to the curb.
Yeah, because I mean, if you can't accept that, what death metal's my life, I love it. I'm gonna play it all the time. I'm gonna play shows as much as I can, and if you don't like that, then I'm not the dude for you.
Actually,
it's pretty simple.
I'm not on, but they can hear me. But I have the first time I met you is my funny Baxter story. Is we were talking about shirts or something, and I was like, Justin has so many shirts, and you're like, we were talking about what I don't know. I was bitching about something, and you're like, yeah, can't put them in the dryer if you do. Curb.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh,
exactly.
really? And you were like, yeah, you put my shit in the dryer, you're gone. Like that's immediately kicked out of my fucking house.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta hang that shit up.
Gotta
I was
hang
like,
them up. You ever
damn.
have that happen?
No, I don't think so.
No,
No.
because I take care of it.
Accidentally dry your shirt or something?
I don't even know how to turn the washer on.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, I do
okay.
everything.
Yeah.
No, and they don't accidentally.
Nah, she's smart. Dude. Yeah, she's
Well, because you
great.
told me 10 years ago. We were 2 years into our relationship, and you said, yeah, no, you get kicked to the curb.
Kick to the curb. Yeah, you can't fuck up all the metal shirts. You can't have that. Oh, is the cat over there now?
Elizabeth Bathory, she's over there.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe
Rebel
she'll
is angry
pop
with her
up.
tongue.
Yeah.
Either that, or I gotta fire up more weed. And
Does she like to
Okay.
read?
well, she doesn't seem to mind it. She's
She
smoking
doesn't
weed.
seem like it.
Cat will hop right up on my lap. And,
Oh, doesn't bother. Okay.
yeah, so it's cool with the weed, the death metal.
Yeah.
Good on the instruments. But doesn't scratch none of my guitars.
Does she have all her
basses.
claws?
Oh yeah, she's
Yeah.
got all of her claws.
You love
Oh,
that,
yeah,
Brian?
because you did that right. Yeah, take care of them.
Well, we wanted her to keep her claws. Why
All
not?
right, we
you
got
know?
a question for Baxter from Tomo. Tomo? Oh. Do you remember if the tuning and regurgitation and necrotic disfigurement are the
Disgorgement.
same? Sorry.
They're probably pretty close, but I think with the
I
regurg,
think my eyes are
it's
fucked up.
like C sharp, but in the middle there. It's like a quarter step
So
off,
that's what you
which is really weird. But yeah, necrotic disgorgement I think is the same
And you
tune.
said also what amps were used, if you remember something like that.
On Tails, I know that we went through that ADA, I think it was an MP1 preamp, which made its way back to Tony and still had that original Tales of Necrophilia sound on it. But anyway, he, because he's got his own studio, he made a profile of that. So that sound that we use on Tales, there's going to be a profile available for that, like you know, the plugins for guitars, for the amp model things. So if you want the Tales sound, it's probably going to be available soon.
What is I think I asked him in that. But do you remember that I did it on Craig's channel? Shit, this is like almost maybe 10 years ago too. Remember it was with me, you, and Dan.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't remember if I asked Dan or not, or maybe I did in person. Like he has a very distinct sound to his drums on Tails.
Yeah.
Did he purposely use something, or it's just like, it's the equipment I had, or I was going for it?
Just the gear he had.
So he didn't like intentionally, like, hey, this is what I'm going for. It just had.
No, I think back then, you know, Dan would, you know, just experiment with whatever kind of drums he, you know, because he always wanted to upgrade, always wanted to try to be better, and just at the time that's what he had. And
Okay.
Yeah, and it was pretty natural. I know he likes to use the double bass triggers, which, you know, for Dan, he really doesn't need, but it makes him a good sound.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Dan, his double bass is just pummeling. Like, if you didn't have triggers, you're still hearing it and feeling it, you know?
Okay.
It's like a bulldozer.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't think he was going for anything in particular, but it just turned out that way, and it sounds good, you know? Sounded good at the time. I mean, the funny thing about Tales, we lost the original mastering to him, because we were down there straight. Like, I think we were up maybe 30 hours, getting everything done in one shot.
Why were you trying to get it done so, like, why were you just cranking it, like?
Well, we only had so much studio time booked.
Oh, okay.
The recording workshop is like a school as well. That's where they like teach people how to record. So I'm pretty sure it was like on the weekends, so we had to get it all done. You know, but yeah, we lost that original mastering. Oh, do this again.
Yeah.
That's why if you notice, like, the volume on Tales, on the original ones is sort of low.
Yeah.
You know, compared to like other CDs, that's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but we bumped it up. Tony bumped it up a little on the new version.
So
All
it's
right, so Mike C said, Brian, better zombies, Tombs of the Blind Dead or Burial Ground?
Wait, only says this Bill McFadden.
Tombs.
He sent a thing,
Dude,
but he didn't answer the
Tombs.
question.
Yeah, no, but I was gonna
Oh,
say.
they probably can't see the tombs.
Well,
No, they can see it.
Bill
somebody asked.
Bill McFadden, you sent a juicy super chat. Like, did you have a question? Just shout out or something? I mean, thanks for that, but
Yeah,
you
Tombs
didn't
of the Blind
you didn't
Dead.
type anything.
Love it.
They can't see this, how awesome this
Oh,
is. You gotta
great
look at
see
it.
this?
monster.
No, because Leprechaun's right in front of him. Hold on.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, you can't see him now.
Here, hold on.
Leprechaun.
Let it-
Shoot Leprechaun.
I know. Here, let me move him over a little bit so you can see it. How cool it actually fucking looks.
And we got Fluffy the
See?
Great
Oh.
Monster.
He's so perfect.
Yeah, this is
right
a nice
there.
Death Studios
Mm-hmm.
Creep Show.
Yeah, we're gonna. I'm telling Baxter that we got to do a walk around video before we go. You guys have no idea what this is. Ab 4S. What's your guys' opinion on Hemdale?
I love Hemdale. Love Hemdale. They were great.
Yeah, I
And,
mean,
and nobody liked them here in Cleveland.
They didn't?
Nobody liked them here. Yeah, when they first came out, but I always liked them, and everybody else in Sodomites, we always loved Hemdale. We thought they were cool. The music was cool. You know, if you probably don't. They had like the $3 demo at the time.
no, that was before my time. Yeah.
Good stuff. I always liked them.
Yeah, I mean, we reissued the split with Exhumed.
That's
Yeah.
the best shit ever.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You have any more of those? You guys out?
LPs totally sold out. And we got like 10 CDs or something. Yeah.
You guys running out? You gotta keep that in stock, bro.
Yeah. I mean,
Because, dude, I'll tell you what, to the people that haven't heard that,
Mhm.
the Hemdale shit's absolutely killer, and the Exhumed shit, some of the best Exhumed.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, it's a hair different than what they were doing afterwards, but dude, you got them cool parts. It's so good. It's like one of the best discs to get because you get both bands. It's like, I think, what is it? Almost an hour long or 50 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys got to keep that in stock, man. Look, people need that.
Yeah.
I was so happy when I seen you guys redid them.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yep.
But Ablated still has that in stock. So
Oh,
if
you
Hell's
still-
runs out, I got a couple left.
Yeah.
But they move pretty good.
I know. Yeah. I mean,
Just for the kids that are here, maybe talk about Ablated a little bit.
Yeah, we got Ablated Records, doing that again. And we got
He
the
runs it himself. with
Mutated
his
Sex
beautiful
Organ
Russian
just came
lady.
out. So, yeah, lots of stuff going on with Ablated. We've got some more stuff planned for later this year, so hopefully all that'll happen.
what year did Blade officially start? Was it like '98?
Probably like 94.
Oh, that early.
Well, I started, I would just do the demos,
Okay.
you know? But then, I think it was 96, I was like, well, I want to start putting stuff out. And then I think it was 97, we put out the Lividity debut.
Yeah, that was the first. I
Fetish
did
for
that.
the
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
That was in like 97.
So when you first, like, when Fetish for the Sick came out by Lividity as your first CD, like, how was the response for that? Was it slow because no one knew what it was? Like, what?
It caught on, dude. It caught on. That went on to sell back then 10,000 copies. I
Yeah,
think.
that's
Oh, wow.
You know, which is pretty good for something
that's
like that.
1,000% good.
It was really good.
Yeah.
But see, the thing back then is that stuff wasn't too popular, but it caught on.
Yeah.
You know, those late 90s era, all that stuff started catching on. And, you know, at the time, especially with the Lividity, you know, we went super over the top with that. You know, with as far as the artwork and, you know, the picture underneath of the CD.
Whose idea was that? Was that yours or the band's? Or?
That was actually mine because originally Sodomize, Rebecca Sodomize, we were going to put out the female genital mutilation, and that was going to be the cover.
Oh, okay.
Because originally we were supposed to go with Pulverizer, but things happened with the band. But anyway, we're going strong now. But that was originally we were using it for Sodomize. That wasn't going to happen. So I'm like, all right, well, use it for Lividity.
And they liked it?
They loved it. It was perfect for them.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, their song titles and, you know, their hard work at the time, I mean, everything just came together perfectly, both on the same wavelength. It's like, yeah, we're going super over the top with this.
Mm-hmm.
People get pissed off or don't like it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know, so we did it. It took me 9 different pressing plants.
Oh, it sounds like they wouldn't take, nobody would press it?
Dude, nobody would press that. I even offered to pay more cash at the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so finally, after like 9 places,
Finally found somebody.
yeah, finally found someone to print that and do that. And yeah, it did really well. I had the Regurgitation, the original Tales after that.
That was the second CD you did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Somebody wants to know your thoughts on Atheist.
Atheists, they're pretty good. I like Atheists.
I mean, they're really technical.
Very technical, you know, but as far as like a musician standpoint, yeah, pretty good stuff, you know. Something I wouldn't listen to every day, but you could really appreciate the talent to it and, you know, try to pick up some of them riffs and, oh, wow, yeah, that's pretty cool, you know. Yeah, good stuff.
Is there anyone extreme metal, death metal, grindcore, black metal, whatever, that you hear play and you're like, holy shit, I don't think I even play that? Is there anything like?
I'm sure it's out there, but I haven't really heard nothing that I was just like, oh wow, I could never play that.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
But I tell you, who is really good live is like Origin.
Yeah,
I
okay.
was watching, or it's like, yeah, you know, man, them guys could really
Yeah.
jam some.
I remember that band first started on the first record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The brand new band on Relapse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fantastic musicians, you know, so yeah, bands like that are super technical. Yeah, I like, you know, watching a lot of that, listening to a lot of it, you know, appreciate the musical side. I was like, oh man, I'm sort of jealous. That's gonna be fun as fuck to play that up there, you know?
Yeah. Now, as far as listening to that kind of music as a fan, especially when they have multiple albums and you're getting multiple bands, do you have a problem remembering all the songs? Like committing on the memory?
It depends, you know. What, as far as me personally?
Yeah.
Or
As far as just remembering them, like they kind of just go in one ear out the other as far as memorability?
of songs I play?
No, as far as just listening, like for say Origin, like if on their 6th album or whatever, is it like, oh, I can't really tell all this apart? Like, do you ever have that problem?
Sometimes.
Okay.
I think you're always gonna have that, you know. But then you got, there's certain records that you just know
Yeah.
every note by heart. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's so good, you know. But I guess it depends how much you listen to that record.
Yeah.
You know, like if you.
But you play so much stuff. How do you? I mean, because you have the side band, right? Or not the tribute band. Sorry.
Yeah.
But do you sing? Do you do vocals for that at all?
I do like some backing vocals and stuff.
What's your favorite thing to do for that?
I like more of the stuff like we do Holy Wars and the Punishment Due.
Oh, that's cool.
A little bit of Slayer. So the more heavier shit, obviously, I like more, you know, because I go sick on stage for that band too. But it's all pretty fun to play, you know. Very wide variety of stuff, you know, like we'll do shit like Rush, but then we'll also do Megadeth and Slayer, you know, so it's, you know, wide variety, but it's so much fun. I love doing it. And even the Rush, which is probably the most challenging stuff, you know, but it's like you learn a lot. It's like, oh, wow. And it's actually pretty cool. That's sort of, I like how that fits and just, you know, it's pretty
How do you figure it out then? Like how to play
it? It's hard, dude. It's hard. Like, even in like Rochevore now, you know, a lot of the stuff, you know, you gotta get videos or rehearsal tapes, and you really got to try to match sounds, transcribe a lot of stuff yourself, you know, like even for, you know, 11th Hour, a lot of stuff, there may be tabs online, but they ain't fucking right. I know it's not right, you know, it's like, nope, it's not that, you know, so you really got to go through and fine tune, refigure a lot of stuff out, figure it out correctly, and then I'll try to match it up, like, all right, and I'm going to play it with it. All right, this matches. All right, this note isn't sour. This okay, and then boom, there you have it. So it's a lot of work, dude. I mean, you gotta sit there, you know, a lot of weed, smoke your weed, get high, jam. I mean, yeah, you gotta put time into it, you know. But I enjoy it. I like sitting at home, getting baked, jamming out, you know.
Did you answer Alex super chat?
Oh, no, what do you say?
So Alex said, Dr. Dawg, Brutal Baxter. Do you guys know Aggressive Repulsive Symphony by Damnation? Sick 1980s demo from Canada. Kind of sounds like Repulsion.
Is that the band?
I remember Damnation from Poland. I don't remember a Canada one now.
I think is that the band Nuclear Now put an LP out a few years ago? If so, yes, I remember listening to it. I don't remember it sounding like Repulsion. I don't remember it, but I remember, I'm almost positive that's what you're talking about. Nuclear Now did a vinyl of it, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago. Because, the only Damnation I knew prior to that was the Poland, like Rebel Souls. That was the one I was familiar with, prior to that.
JW wants to know, how many hours a day do you play the guitar?
It depends. There's some days that I'll play for hours upon hours.
Pisser.
And then there's other days I'll jam for, you know, maybe an hour or so. But I try to play every day.
You're a busy guy, though. You like to keep busy.
But that's the thing. It's like,
I mean, how many bands are you in right now? You gotta count them on your hands. That's a lot of bands.
Yeah. Well, there's Regurg, 11th Hour, the tribute band, Sodomized, Rochevore. And then I record for Syphilic, which we're almost done with the next record, but I don't play live with Syphilic. So yeah, about 5 bands.
That's a lot of bands.
Yeah, it's fun though. That's what I like to do. I like to get out and have fun. I mean, for me, it's like, work hard during the week, but on the weekends, hey, if it's a cool show to play, I'm gonna go out and jam, have fun.
So I'm guessing he's asking because we brought up your Russian beautiful lady. What's Bax's favorite Russian bands / musicians?
I like AP.
Oh.
Abominable Putridity is really
Nice.
good. I mean, there's actually, you know, a lot of good stuff from Russia, you know, but like AP, great slam death metal. Wigger, you could call it Wigger Slam, I guess. There's so much good stuff from all over, every country. It's sort of cool.
I like this too, because you guys have not seen all the masks that he has in this house, and it is insane. I cannot even explain it to you. But if Baxter joined Slipknot, what would his mask look like? But if you had to craft a mask for yourself, like what way would you go?
I would want to be like the Tails guy. I'm the Maggot
right,
Man on Tales of Necrophilia, which reminds me that, you know, I'm trying to reach out to some mask makers because I want to have an actual maybe like half a dozen masks made of the Maggot Man. I haven't really found the perfect person to make it yet, but that would be the mask.
But the stuff you have here is not. We're not talking about spirit Halloween shit here, guys. We're
Some
talking
good
about
stuff.
holy shit. Like I'll pan while Justin's in the bathroom. If you, is that okay?
You could, show some of it
Right
off
here.
in here. Why not?
Like, let's just pan to see these beautiful fucking masks. We got the nun right there. Look at him. Ugh.
Right by the cat tree.
And then right there. I mean, we're talking about
Feel better, dog?
crazy stuff
Find
here.
Fire hydrant up there.
Found the fire hydrant.
Got the fire hydrant ready
Yep.
for the dog.
Yep. Snip some butts.
Oh wait, I didn't even show one of my favorite ones. Hold on, wait. Let me show you guys. Look at how fucking cool that is.
Oh, the Freddy. I like the Freddy.
Oh, he looks great.
The Condor, Brian, I would love to have you sign my future vinyl copy of Tales of Dead by Dog.
Hell
Come on out. Yeah, come to Dead by Dog. We'll sign that shit.
Selling them?
Slap a cig on there.
Slap a cig on there.
Slap a cig on there, you know.
Have you ever been to Halloween Adventure in New York?
Mm-mm.
And he goes
No.
there, kind of. You go to New York.
Yeah, I like going to New York.
No, how much money do you think you spent on the horror stuff?
Not enough. It's only money. See, my thing with, I know a lot of people like.
You got a full-size fucking Reagan in there. Like,
Oh yeah, she's
holy
badass.
shit.
Yeah.
It's dark, so I don't know if they
Yeah,
caught it,
yeah.
but
Yeah, the
immediately
Reagan's
when we
sick.
came in, that's what my eyes went to.
Her head will spin too.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but I look at money. You know, a lot of people are all about money and the mighty dollar, and I don't care. My motto on money is whatever, just spend it, enjoy it. We'll make more. I mean, I can still work. I'm able-bodied, so.
Yeah, I'm in between. Like, I do like to enjoy the money and stuff, but I also like to have enough sitting there to where I'm comfortable if something pops up.
Oh yeah, you gotta have it's smart to have an emergency.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
So, Baxter, do you have a favorite piece in your collection? Meg Mucklebones wants to know. Is there something
See,
that you're
that
like,
is
this
so
is my favorite
tough.
thing?
That is so tough.
Oh,
I
come here and
really
you
do
can see.
love
You should
because I
see
love
up the
Blind
stairs.
Dead,
This is
yeah.
insane. Ugh. Crazy. Crazy.
The Blind Dead one, I really like because I love that series, and that one just has just such that dark, fermented type look.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I really like that one probably. But actually, I got another one coming soon. So,
Do you?
Yeah,
What's it's
yeah.
ordered?
Well, I'm gonna surprise you next time you come out for a live.
Uh,
But a lot of the stuff, I mean, it takes time.
yeah.
So I never bother the artist. Like, I'm not that guy. You got this done yet? When does this ship? I don't do that. It's like, dude, you take as much time as you want because
Right,
it's art, and I'd rather them take their time, give me a nice piece, than to sit and bug them and you get it and
Just cranks it out.
Yeah, doesn't look as good.
Yeah.
Because it's a work of art, and I mean I love artwork. I love death metal artwork. The horror movie, the mask artwork, the paint job on stuff. So.
Well, just to, for an idea, if you don't care, but what did he run you? What did
That leprechaun, I think it was maybe $800 or $900.
Oh, that's not a creator.
That's tough, but I would have to say creator. If I had to pick, I mean,
You
I
agree?
do like them both.
Yeah,
Yeah, creator, I mean, Creator was one of them bands that, some of the early stuff was really pushing death metal.
Yeah, Creator, the Pleasure to Kill is basically like a death thrash record.
Yeah, and that's the way, things were back then, that a lot of stuff, was thrash metal, but it was borderline death metal during that whole transition period.
Yeah, that was tough.
Which I guess if you didn't live through that, you wouldn't understand how it sort of evolved. And
Yeah.
then, we got death metal now.
Yeah. What's your take on, I guess, having said that, like you just said it, the younger generation that comes up now, let's say they're 20 years old today, and they're kind of getting into this, been in it for a few years, and they'll say something like, they just kind of lump bands in the same, like say a band like Creator with a band that's from 2020. Like they don't understand where things came from and just completely.
And as they won't,
But they almost say it as fact. Like, don't you think that's kind of ignorant?
It's what they think. You know, if that's their opinion, that's cool. I'm cool with it. You know? I mean, because these younger guys. You know, I think it's cool that younger people are getting into this music. You know, they were around 30 whatever years ago. You know, they got their opinion on this stuff, and that's cool. You know, I got no problem with it. You may classify something that maybe I wouldn't think would be classified as that, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, they're enjoying the music. They enjoy the music, and that they're that much into it that they'll classify and debate. Hey, cool. You know, whether you're right or wrong, hey, that's your opinion. Cool. I don't get too bothered by it. I'm pretty laid back about shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand when I was a young kid. You know, when I was really young, it's like, well, it's probably maybe a little weird myself. You know, going to record stores, spend 45 minutes there and come out with one tape. Taking forever. One tape. What do I want? This. I can, But it's still cool. Yeah. So I'm just glad younger people get into it. It's really cool.
What do you think about like today's kind of like how people obtain music? A lot of people hear it like through YouTube or Spotify, as opposed to back in the day, you had to literally go and pick up a physical copy, or somebody had to dub it for you. Do you think it's obviously nowadays is more convenient? But what do you think, in your opinion, is better or a better way of doing it? Like, what do you prefer?
Well, obviously, I'm going to say CDs and all that is better, but a lot of people can only get it through streaming or YouTube or any of that. That's cool too. You know, if you're into the music, you're playing it, you enjoy it, you're jamming out. Cool. I'm totally cool with it. But I mean, obviously CDs, support the band and all this. That's
physical copies.
Physical is always the way to go, but a lot of people can't. And if you can't, well, you know what? You're still enjoying the music. Crank that shit loud and have a good day, bro.
But I mean, do you think, for example, like that there's a strong possibility the younger generation that never experienced to where you had to get a physical copy to hear it, that there's a possibility they take it for granted or have an underappreciation for the music? Because when you bought it, like even if you got it, you're like let's say you bought Pleasure to Kill and it didn't hit you the first time. You listened to it a few times for a few reasons. Number one, you bought it, so you're like, I'm going to give this a few chances. And number two, you didn't have like a stockpile. Let me just go to the next YouTube link. So
it's way different.
So do you think they have an underappreciation this year or something? And they just disregard. It's fine. It's like, well, dude, you might need to listen to it a few times.
Yeah, they probably do, and that's just the way the times are.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like when back in the day with me, I thought, oh wow, this looks cool. I love that artwork. You had no idea what it sounded like.
The guys had in their band photos, they had different shirts on.
Yeah,
you check out the shirts, right?
Yeah, but God, what's that? I'm gonna have to check that band out.
So for some reason, the chat is asking if who would win in a fight between Baxter and Varg.
Oh, dude, I'd beat the shit out of me. I'd make it comical, dude. Be comical.
Apparently Varg knows Krav Maga, so I don't know.
Maybe.
Don't know, never met the guy.
Yeah. Is he somebody like, for example, I know you're not like a Burzum fan, and neither am I. I mean, the only thing I say about Burzum, I was like, of course it has its place, and I think on the first couple records his vocals sound really cool. I was like, but I didn't like the music at all. But someone like that, let's just say he walked in a Dead by Dog, and he wasn't like surrounded. Is he somebody you'd even go up to and say hi, or you just like, I don't even care?
I don't know.
Or would you be kind of curious?
The guy.
No, even so you did, and everyone's like, Varg's like, would you be curious, or you'd be like, I just don't even care?
Okay,
no, I think you would talk to him.
How's it going? Yeah.
I say no. I didn't know where he's.
Good to see you, Dead by Dog.
I just didn't know where he's on your stats. Where it's like for example, dude, if I don't even know his name. If any one of the fucking douche canoes in the band Creed were anywhere, like I wouldn't even go up to him. I was like, you'd have to pay me. You'd have to pay me to meet that guy.
You already know what I would do. I would make it so comical. I'd throw like Cheetos at him or something dumb.
Yeah.
All right, so Necro Warlock is in the conversation. Hi, Necro. I
Necro?
know Brian will agree, but normies love their Christmas, but Halloween sends the birth of JC home on a stretcher. Sucks that parents don't do trunk or treat crap nowadays. Hardly get kids to come by to scare the shit out of them.
Yeah,
we don't have that problem where we're at. We have like hundreds of trick or treaters.
It
Do
was
you?
pretty good out here for trick or treat
Yeah.
this year. And honestly,
Ohio is good for trick or treaters.
Yeah.
We live. I don't know where you live, Necro World. I think you're from Ohio, but yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I think it's great if parents take their kids out to trick or treat.
Do you scare them?
Kids? I try to be cool, but I'll put props outside, and I'm usually having some death metal blaring in here.
Oh, do you?
I
Does
do,
anybody ever come on
tons
that?
of candy, and
We do too.
usually if I have it at the
We
door,
do drinks for the adults too. Blood in blood bags.
well, you gotta be careful with that.
No. All right, Baxter.
Yeah, we give out handfuls here, dude. Because I totally support Halloween. So, it's all good.
Do you like Impaled?
You know what?
That's
To be
from
honest,
Jimbo.
I don't
No,
like
she
it.
said no.
I don't.
She answered the question.
I thought, when it first came out, I was thinking, because it's a couple of dudes from Zoom. Just doesn't do it for me. And in California, we're out there, they play, and I'll go check them out. I wasn't into them, Those guys seemed, I don't know, like really far left type, PC type guys too.
I could say, the college guys, I get that.
That's the thing that I got from them,
Yeah.
they were all cool. I'm not into their music, but they seemed really sort of weird like that.
It's funny because
not very party friendly.
Oh, really? Yes, I always got
Some
along.
other bands are super party friendly. It's like you hang out, party, have a great time.
Yeah.
Which was the way most bands.
What about the guys in Exhumed then? Are they like that? Because they got to be the same kind of stance, I would think, right?
Yeah, I think a little bit, But their music's good,
Probably like guys like Matt Harvey. He
seems.
seems Harvey for you seems like kind of standoffish, then, like in person.
He's always been cool. I haven't seen him a long time.
Oh, really? Okay.
But he's always been pretty cool when I do see him.
Okay.
I used to talk to him a lot in the store days. Remember, he worked at Necropolis.
Yeah. Yep.
Necropolis.
Necropolis, right?
Say that again.
What did you think of that debacle before it went under?
You know what? I don't know the full story.
Yeah, I kind of don't either. After he's told me, but I just know Snick, and then guys that work there. I've heard from like Raul, who was impaled, and Matt Harvey. But yeah, I just heard it secondhand, just bits and pieces.
Yeah, I never heard the full story, but I guess I was a big fan of that. Like, it was always cool talking to him. I get some of their stuff.
That was the Paul?
Matt Harvey worked there.
No, Matt Harvey worked there, but the guy that owned it, I believe, was Paul.
I can't remember.
I think that's what Matt told me his name was, because we tried to license some shit, and the guy likes, for example, the first Impale that you think sucks ass, tried to put it out
That
on
is
vinyl.
licensed. I actually got copies.
No, well, I don't know. We tried to do it on vinyl, and suppose he wants $30,000.
Well, I got
What?
CDs downstairs.
Yeah.
So.
Well, no, but is it the original recording, not the Dead Still, because they re-recorded it for that reason. And I didn't like the re-recording
Maybe.
at all.
I don't know.
No,
I popped one. I just got
It
them.
has the cover's vaguely
It
different.
was the one that was on Necropolis.
Well, the first two were, yeah.
Dead Shall or
Dead Shall Dead Remain.
yeah.
They re-recorded it. The cover's slightly different. Same
Oh,
scenery,
I'll
but
check.
and it's called
I'm
The
not
Dead
sure.
Shall Still Dead, whatever. But they did similar title.
The check.
But
But
I-
we'll go look.
Yeah, I didn't like the re-recording at all. I liked
Okay.
the original because it was like.
What do you think of that Malignancy re-recording?
I told Danny in person. I was like, it sounded cool, but I thought it was unnecessary because I thought it sounded fine.
Oh, it did sound fine.
Yeah.
That is such a great band.
Yeah.
Malignancy. Oof.
Yeah, I was like, it's just a lot of these like it's kind of like to me it's like it's kind of like a creator's like, hey, we're gonna re-record Pleasure to Kill. It's like why? Like it doesn't need to be.
No.
I get it if
No.
like if certain shit you're like, yeah, that kind of sounded like ass. It would make sense. I'm like, but some of
Yeah.
these guys that were recording shit, like didn't Exodus re-record Bonded by Blood?
They did.
I almost positive. Don't quote me on that. I'm like, why?
Maybe.
Yeah,
I know
like,
the Sepultura guys, aren't they? Record.
they did. They re-recorded Morbid Visions, and I will say this: I listened to it. I expected it to lick absolute balls.
Do you know it?
It didn't lick balls.
But then I got some questions.
It sounded way better than I thought it would be, and Max
Yeah.
tried to sing more like he kind of did on that time. But I listened, I'm like, it's unnecessary. I was like, I'll just listen to the original. I was like, but it doesn't. I was like, it is way better than I thought it was going to be. I'll give him that. But I was like, it didn't need to be
Loved it
recorded.
back in the day.
No.
Sepultura.
Alright, so one of my favorites, Mikhail here, asked a question.
What'd you think of Roots by Sepultura?
Wait, hold on.
Sucked. nuts, dude.
We
Who the hell likes screamers? Is there people out there that really like that?
They exist.
Really? They exist. Wow.
Alright, so we got a super
Wow.
chat. J-Dog, have you had a negative experience with Earache Records? I bought reissues of Symphonies of Sick, War Master, Formulas Fatal, Shit Tier, Digipacks, no album booklets, you know what I'm saying?
Bootlets?
Booklets, threw them out.
Well, it sounds like you're slightly, I'm slightly out of loop. I mean, I interviewed Earache Al, what, 2-3
It was
times?
amazing, yeah.
He's a super cool guy. Me personally, other than hanging out with Earache Al, meeting up with him in Arizona when we go out there, I don't really have any personal first-hand experience. Hellside Bangers wholesales, but that'd be more of a Chase question. But to my knowledge, it doesn't come from Earache. They have a it's either PhD or whoever. I don't. He's giving, what the fuck? I was like, no, I don't know. You're the one that sets it up, so no, I don't know. It doesn't come directly from them. It's whoever they do their wholesaling through. So I don't have any firsthand with them because Chase does that, and then on top of that, I don't think even he does because it doesn't come directly from them. Now I will say this. I'll comment on a few things. I'm assuming it's a mistake or whatever, but the Carcass Heartwork LP repress, where it's the single LP, there's a double LP version that's like the deluxe version or whatever. That was pretty nice, but the single LP version, it sounds like complete shit. And I'm not being like literally like, you put it at the maximum volume on the stereo, and it's like you could barely hear it, or it's just a comfortable volume. And put it this way, on my stereo, I never put anything even close to maximum volume. I don't know if that was just, I listened to like 2 of them, they sounded like that, and a few people complained. I'm like, I think the whole pressing's like that, because people got them. I'm assuming that that's, to their defense, I'm assuming that's a mistake from the pressing plant. However, if like Hell's Headbangers got a vinyl, let's say the Regurgitation came out like that, we'd be like, dude, there's no way, you have to remake, like this is just unacceptable. Or you just have to take it as a loss. Let's say if they're like, hey man, that's the audio you provided a fucked up, the audio was fucked up when you sent the transfer or whatever, we would just have to eat it and repress the vinyl. So I don't know what was up with that.
Are you talking about having to eat a product you get that's bad?
No, I was just saying my experience with Earache. Yeah. Well, it's like there's times you have to do that, but yeah, there's times you just have to eat shit. And yeah, it licks balls. So I don't know why they didn't. I don't know that backstory on that, but that's the only thing I could say as far as first hand, 'cause I'm sure you're looking for some complete dirt talk on them. No. Unfortunately, I don't have any of that. If I did, I would tell you.
Moving on. So Thomas wants to know what you think of his impression of you, like when you hear it.
What, when he does it?
Yeah.
I think it's great, you know? I think it's funny. I think it's really
But you
funny.
have an accent, like, but you're from Ohio. Where does that come from?
My accent, like a lot of times, I do it to be comical.
Okay, yeah.
You know, like I'll just
I hear it all the
drag
time.
out
You're
stuff,
talking normal.
and you know, either that or I'm just really high or something, you know.
Today you helped me take the Regurg out, and
Which thank you for bringing over.
Of course. But you have that accent immediately. It's like it's the Baxter.
It's my own accent, great.
It's the Baxter.
What do you? How do you like, since you're dealing with like normies? How do your coworkers kind of like take to you? Like, do they think you're funny, or they just
They
think
love
it's
you.
normal?
They love you,
They
right?
do, they love me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you work with
I work with I work with a lot of black people.
Mm-hmm.
I work with there's a whole wave of like Indians coming in now, and I just like to have fun even at work, get people going.
But do they also think, are you the guy with them? Are they like, yeah, dude, Brian, he's into that crazy shit, like music wise?
You know what was funny? There was one. I think this was 2 weeks ago. Because usually I'll wear a hat and I put all my hair up in the hat so it don't get caught in nothing.
Yeah.
Well, one day I think I woke up, I don't know if I was hungover, just tired, but get to work, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot my hat.
what kind of hat are we talking about? A flat brim?
No, it's a Deathmetal hat.
Okay.
But you can't really read the logo, nobody knows what it is anyway. So, but anyway, I go into work and my hat, people didn't even know, they're like, who's that new guy over there?
So they didn't realize you had long hair?
No. No.
So they comment on that, like, why do you got long hair, bro?
Wow, I never knew you had all that long hair,
All right, so just Bay Area said Baxter has the coolest room that I've probably ever seen in my life. Is it the same artist that does all those masks and sculptures, or do you buy from different people?
Everything's different. Yeah, everything's different. You know, if I see something, a piece that I like, or you know, an artist that I really like, then I'll like, yeah, get this, you know. But I mean, a lot of it's pretty hard to get.
Mm.
Takes a little while sometimes, but it's well worth it when you do get it. It's like, God, I just love the artwork. I mean, it's so good.
I think it kind of wraps into it, but Layla Lover, one of our biggest supporters, thank you. He wants to know if you believe in the paranormal. Do you believe in ghosts? And
Of
stuff?
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
You love the paranormal?
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if Justin's ever heard me talk about at the old record store, that whole fantasy complex.
Well, I've heard you bring it up.
Theater, it's totally haunted.
100%.
And, you know, a lot of the stuff that I experienced there, which was totally real, was documented years later on one of those ghost TV shows.
Yeah, they went in. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, holy shit, you know, because I seen the episode, and I'm like, wow.
So
I was
if
like,
you
man,
live
I
at-
should have been. I guess they tried to contact me because my landlords knew, you know, because I had told them, you know, about a lot of the stuff there, you know, because you remember, dude, I would work 14 hours and I'd pass out right in the back of the shop, you know.
Yeah.
So I was there, you know, all night a lot, you know. Yeah, some of the ghost shit there, dude.
So what's your take then? What do you believe then when we die? What happens? What is your?
Well, I do believe in ghosts because I've seen them.
Oh.
I could tell you that. You know, maybe you'll be a ghost, maybe I will, maybe we won't.
Mhm.
But yeah, once you experience it, you
So
know,
what do you-
more than once, it's like, wow.
Outside that,
shit's
that's
real.
My personal belief too is I get mind boggled when someone's Christian or believes in any of the Christian dissents, but they also believe in ghosts. I was like, that makes no logical sense because technically speaking,
Does anything make sense?
no, I know. But
Most shit does.
so theoretically,
Nothing
according to
is
their
doing it.
book, it's either you go to heaven or hell. It says nothing
No.
about ghosts. So it's like, how do you believe that? But then believe
Maybe out
ghosts?
of that scripture that it got lost or it just stayed in there. They didn't feel like talking about it. But yeah, those chapters, I mean, you never know, dude.
Yeah.
That's why it's all called the unknown.
Mm.
So yeah, everything is confusing. You don't really know for sure. There's some evidence of this, some evidence of that, and yeah, you just don't know. So it's like, you know what? If you're not a ghost, you're living. Hey, enjoy yourself now, dude. 'Cause
So, Mikhail wants to know, have you ever met Digby in person? Is he a millionaire considering what he owns the rights to?
the guy from Earache, Dig.
I never
Do you
met
think
him.
he's a millionaire?
I've never
Right.
met him either.
Yeah,
I-
he's a millionaire.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I know they had the U.S. office back when I was dealing with them, and those guys were cool as hell, man. They would send like stacks of, you know, Morbid Angel posters and all that stuff. They were cool.
No, I know for a fact, Digby and Brian Slagle from Metal Blade, I know for a fact they're millionaires. I know for
Well,
100%
they
fact.
should be.
Slagle, I know
Should be
for
good
I
them.
know first. I'm not gonna say who said, and like I know for 100% fact, Slagle's a millionaire.
Alright, so JW asked another question from Baxter. What's your favorite boutique Blu-ray label?
Ooh, that's
Ooh,
tough.
I know it was gonna be tough for you.
That's
You
tough.
should see we'll do it one day when it's all set up upstairs,
Oh,
but
I'm
you
working
should
on
see
that
the room.
room,
It is
yes.
insane. There are more DVDs, Blu-rays that I've ever seen in my life in one place.
Yeah, there's more after that too. But boutique labels, I don't know, because it's like that's a tough question. I mean, there was some good, but a lot of them, they're just re-releasing the same crap. I'm like, I already got that. I already got it. I don't need this on 4K. I already got it on DVD or a Blu-ray, and the picture's good. You know, but I like a lot of those labels that put out shit that hasn't really been out.
Right.
You know, like I know.
We were able to give you some shit you didn't
Oh, I
have.
loved it.
Oh,
You
I
know,
won't
yeah,
talk
that
where it
old
came from,
shit.
but
There's
yeah,
a couple Paul
It came from
Nashi
me.
films.
Yeah, it came
and
from me.
love that. You ever get more? I'll buy them. Yeah. if
No,
you
I
something,
got Baxter some cool stuff for him.
very cool
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, it's all the
'Cause I
shit
love
that
him.
you know, that hasn't put out yet. Like I hate the thing that's been re-released 5 fucking times. It's like, no, I don't want that. I want something that hasn't been cleaned up.
Yeah.
You know?
What do you- so
Trevor
what's-
Baxter's calling you dad.
My
What-
son,
what-
Yeah, Dad, you still have yet to answer this. What are your top 5 death metal bands?
Your kids in the comments?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he watches your shit?
Watches your shit.
So
Watches
he
Dead
wants
by
to know,
Dawg.
so
Oh, I didn't know he knows who I am.
Yeah.
Trevor.
Yeah, but I'll answer that when he's home. You know, we always have horror movie debates all the time. You know,
Is he gonna come out?
As a father, though, I'm disappointed that he liked Halloween Ends.
I'm disappointed you like the nun that much. Shut up. Oh God.
What did you think when you talk about cleanup movies? What was your take? Say a movie like Night of the Living Dead, when they redid it in color.
That was
It was
actually
fun.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I did.
like
Okay.
that.
You know.
Yeah, so
Yeah, like a lot of these old, 70s films, like a lot of stuff I'll have a copy, but it's, pretty bad quality. You know,
Yeah.
it's like off of a VHS. So, and then a lot of stuff never was even put on anything. There might be a very
Halloween
rare
Ends
copy.
was bad. Sorry, Trevor.
Yeah,
It was
Halloween
bad.
Ends was terrible.
I
Yeah, like
can't
a
wait
lot
to
of the-
meet you, but it was bad.
I don't know if I've been
I
seen
do
it.
like the 70s stuff though, that they'll clean it up
The
and then
Nun was a
re-release
snooze
it. And it's
fest.
like, oh, that's cool. Stuff that hasn't been out before. But like, even like labels like Vinegar Syndrome, they barely do any good horror stuff anymore. Like Scream Factory, same way. Arrow, so all
Right.
those boutique labels
Yeah, yeah.
are just putting out the same shit. I
It's
did get a
different
bunch
now.
of yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I did get a bunch of good stuff from like Cauldron. They're like sort of underground, but they put out some.
But it kind of goes
good
back to what
stuff.
Justin was asking about, how different the world is now, how easy
Yeah.
it is to get stuff.
Yeah.
Before, you've been collecting this for
That's a long
20
time.
plus years.
Yeah.
So, but
Long
this is
time.
the second time Tyler Saxon asked the question. He just wants to know, like, what are some of the places that you've got your masks from?
I'll tell you, really, like, for example,
And
Fluffy the Crate
This is
Beast.
the coolest one, I think.
Yeah, this one's great. This was Death Studios out of Indiana. Jeff Death, he's done masks for, dude, I think it's at least the 80s that I can remember.
He's an old ass guy.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
still pumps out sick masks,
Yeah.
dude. Classic
Kind of
stuff.
reminds
But
me
yeah,
of
the Death
somebody else,
Studios.
who's old, pumping shit out. So,
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah,
drop
check out
shit off
Death
at our house.
Studios.
Like, yeah. Yeah. So, Bill also agreed. Yeah, they did. Exodus did re-record Bonded, and I felt that.
I mean,
Why
don't-
would you?
It's unnecessary, right?
Yeah, it's not necessary, but it'd probably be still cool to hear.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I was like,
Yeah, I guess why would you re-release it?
what did you,
Re-record it,
because I always liked Freddy Krueger, the character.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you have a cutoff for those movies.
I don't think he does. I mean, minus
Now,
the
see,
new, right?
I like Freddy. He's definitely not my favorite. But I really like the Freddy character.
Yeah,
but,
but Jeepers Creepers. I was surprised about that too.
Yeah. First.
Because that was not my favorite.
But yeah, the character's really cool. I mean, all the movies are different. They're weird. A lot of people think, well, this sucks. I do think that the very first one, I really liked. I remember seeing it in the theater. And
You saw the first Nightmare on Elm Street in the theater?
yeah, and it was actually sort of scary.
You gotta
back
been pretty
then.
damn young. That was like 84, right?
Yeah, I was pretty young. But see, I was lucky, because my sister was older.
Yeah.
So I got to.
That's kind of, I got the
sorta
same, yeah. I
hang
saw
out
stuff,
with
yeah,
the
okay.
older sister
Yeah,
and
yeah.
go do this or that, and
Yeah.
I sort of lucked out. Plus, my mom, was always into the horror movies too.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
There'd be those times where we could go to the video store. Oh, you pick on VHS. Or, as long as there better not be any tits in it.
What was the general public, like when that movie first came out in the theater, and you go back to school and you're young, but you hear maybe adults talking about it, teenagers, were people talking about it? Was it a big hit, or did it take, or was it time?
I would think it was a pretty big hit.
I didn't know if it took time to catch on to the character until the third
Pretty
movie or
good.
so.
I mean,
I
you gotta
just-
figure Wes Craven,
Yeah. Well, I just noticed you had a Candyman up there.
Yeah, that's signed too.
So
He
that
just
was.
died.
Did you watch the remake?
I didn't even watch it.
Mhm.
I
We
did.
took
Did we
Right
watch
to
the
the
remake? Yeah, we
movies.
watched the remake, did we?
We went
Well, that
to the
director,
movies
he
for it.
sucks, and it's like, nah, you're not doing like the original, Candyman with Tony Todd.
But it was like a reimagined version.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it
most
talked a
of
lot
that
about
stuff
like
sucks.
the way life is or something. Like that's why I was like, I didn't think you'd like it.
Well, I hate when those movies they want to have their whatever opinion overtone on it. It's like,
Right.
leave that shit out. Give me some good blood and guts and.
Yeah, the Nightmare on Elm Street remake was dog shit. I thought it was terrible.
What'd you think of it?
You know what? I don't think I've ever watched it.
It's awful.
See, I didn't hate it.
It's awful.
I don't think I made it through the whole thing.
The whole end part where they like try to tie it together, it was
Well,
bad.
because
You didn't like it.
my mindset with movies, again, I'm not like
Ooh, thoughts on
I'm,
Wishmaster?
I'm way more picky.
Wishmaster.
Yeah, of course.
I'm way more picky with
The Wishmaster
Phantasm.
poster.
I saw it,
somewhere
I
out
saw
there.
it,
Did
I
you see
saw
it?
it,
Okay.
No, I'm way more
And
gatekeepish
you're
and shit when it comes to metal
signed
stuff.
Elvira.
Movies, my mindset is if I was entertained at least
Yeah.
it's majority of its purpose. But can I see why, like, Nightmare on Elm Street, there's no Robert Englund and Fuse Bars? I'm like, yeah, it's dumb. But I was like, I can't help but admit, I was like, I wasn't bored because like there's some movies I shut off. I was like, I can't even, I literally can't even sit through this. That's when it's like, to me, I was like, that's a bad movie. I was like, I didn't shut it off. Now, did I go out and buy a T-shirt of it and I need a Blu-ray? No. But I was like, I didn't think it was terrible to where I turned it off.
You
For
were
example,
entertained,
Starship Troopers #2, I shut that off.
I can't remember. I know the first one.
The first one's pretty good.
Yeah.
The second one, unwatchable.
The first
I was like, I
one
literally, I
was also
shut
a-
it off. I was like, this
it's
is
a fuck
unwatchable.
effect, though. That's a difference here.
Yeah.
We're talking about, you know. whatever.
Yeah.
But that's
So-
why I was like, if I was entertained, I'm like, it did majority of its purpose.
So Mikhail put
Yeah,
in
you gotta look at
two.
the entertainment part
Yeah.
of it.
Kel put 2 super chats in. First one, what caused the Roadrunner to sell out? They put stuff out like Immolation, Malevolent, Atrocity, Deicide, Suffo, then stuff like Nickelback, Slipknot, and Cold Chamber. Do you know what caused this shit?
Money.
Yeah.
It's all about money. They, you know.
Do they literally end up? Did they release Nickelback?
That's what I just read.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
like that's
I
the
didn't know
bottom
that.
of the barrel garbage.
Another.
Oh yeah, always take
You?
more beer. You ain't gonna ask me twice.
Yeah, I mean Roadrunner. I mean it's like you can rip on Relapse and shit, and don't get me wrong, I have. But even then, they didn't do nowhere near as bad as Roadrunner.
I mean, yeah, a lot of those they're all about money, and
Yeah.
hey, that's what they do.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, at the time, I mean, Roadrunner has some great shit.
Oh, 100%.
Remember, I got the promo tape for the Immolation Dawn of Possession.
Mm.
Oh, worked the fuck out. Tape barely worked anymore, you know? Good shit.
Now, do you have a cutoff for Immolation?
Almost every Immolation that I've heard is good.
Yeah, so that's my stance too. Yeah,
Great band.
yeah,
I mean, anytime you want to go see them live, they're good.
yeah.
All their records, pretty
And
good.
they're like amazing
you know?
people too.
Yeah, cool dudes. So,
Yeah.
I mean, what can you really say bad? I mean, yeah, out of all those records, will there be a couple tracks you may think aren't good? Probably.
Mm-hmm.
But very consistent band, which I think, you know, a lot of these older bands, it gets harder after you've put out so much good music
1,000%.
to
Yeah.
keep
do-
that
yeah.
up, and nothing but respect to those guys. That man, they keep putting out good music.
It's funny because sometimes in that category, someone will compare a band like Cannibal Corpse or Immolation to like, yeah, well, this death metal band has no shitty records. I'm like, they have 2 albums. I was like, that's not too hard to fuck
These
up.
guys are
I was like, they have over,
consistently
they have like a
putting out
dozen albums.
records.
I was like, that's much harder to do.
Yeah.
I was like, so this X, Y, and Z band that you brought that has 2 records, let's see how good they are by their 10th album.
Yeah, give it another 10 records.
Yeah.
So you really got to respect those type of bands that can, you know, like Cannibal, like Immolation, you know, Suffocation,
Mhm.
you know, that consistently put out really good music. I mean, more power to them. I'm glad to see it, you know.
Trevor is calling you out in these comments, man. He said,
Oh, no, I'm here.
FYI, my dad secretly loves Halloween Ends.
Oh, that movie sucks. It was terrible.
All right.
I like probably the first 2 Halloween.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so Slade
Halloween
Craven
3 is good,
asked,
too.
what are some of Baxter's favorite so bad they're good movies? Like, what's so bad?
Leprechaun 4 is Leprechaun Space.
I think
all
that's
the
not bad
Leprechaun.
either.
All the Leprechaun.
In the
Well, that's a
hood.
really good question. I would have to think about that. But there's some of them B movies that are actually really good, but they are shitty. And I do like a lot of
You
those
like a
type
lot
of
of them.
movies. Yeah.
I took a quick peek around your room.
Oh, a
real
lot of
quick.
them B movies I like. You know, with Frank and Hooker. You know, that kind of
That's
shit.
not bad. What are you
I
talking
love
about?
Frank and
Frank and
Hooker.
Hooker's amazing.
I know.
I saw
you
you have
have
a signed copy of there.
A couple, yeah.
Yeah.
A couple.
I gotta show
Love
that
it.
off.
Love it. Love Frank and Hooker.
So Mikhail asked me a question: is all cat Chrissy and Regurgitation Disgorge Malevolent Creation type of metalhead or more classic stuff? I've always said it. If you, I mean, I know who you are, but yeah, I never heard Regurgitation before I met Justin. It was not my thing, and it's actually one of the pits I had to walk out of recently.
Oh yeah,
I had to walk out.
that show was sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was, dude. It was.
I got hit in the
they went
head.
nuts in there.
A beer got spilled
Yeah.
down my back. Somebody hit me in the face, and I said, "I'm done."
Wow.
God, I'm not gonna lie, Brian. I was kind of looking forward to that crowd being at Dead by Dawg. Cause I gotta say, 'cause I've seen, dude, when you guys play,
Yeah.
I was there many, many times.
Yeah.
That was the best crowd interaction I've seen Regurg
Holy
ever.
shit, yeah.
And I was like, people were like going nuts. I was kind of hoping for that. Like, I was like, because it's just gonna be cool, just like an experience for the out-of-staters to see it. I was like, people, and it was cool because to me, you're a local man. Well, you are, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's not like a big deal to me as opposed to an out-of-stater. Like, I've never seen them. I was like, I think it's gonna be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, even like in Chicago or shit, it was cool like that.
They took it the same way.
Yeah.
What was it's when you, what song was it?
Maybe the acid enema or
No,
something
it wasn't.
like that.
It was,
Probably fermenting
It
natural
was.
excrements, maybe.
it like immediately happened, and I thought to myself, oh, I have to get out of here. Because it like
Sucks.
took, like, I
Well,
couldn't
because
even
plus when it's
walk
packed in
back.
that class, I
Yeah.
mean, it seems kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
When it's shoulder to shoulder in there.
Yeah, I
That's
watched back, I sat back, I thought it was a great show still, but I was like, I'm not safe here. I was like, I'm
No,
gonna
you
die.
gotta be safe at
Yeah.
shows. Yeah, 'cause
But they
a lot
were
of
the
that
kid.
does
It was a
happen,
bunch
yeah.
of kids, and I was so happy to see that.
Yeah.
Like they had to be 18 and under. Like
See, I
a
love
lot
it
of them.
too. I think
No, I
it's
love
cool.
it.
And that's what, irks me even more because it's like, I know that, this new shit that we're working on is in that vein, but probably a
It's gonna
little
be
bit
crazy.
better.
Yeah.
So I'm really anxious to, all right, I want to get, a new guitar player, that helps with some vocals, get them in the door so we can, play some more shows, but also continue the writing process and get some of this new music out, that I think people are just going to love.
Now, do you think, as far as our placement, you were saying live, if you were to get just, because I remember, you definitely did, dude, or unless correct me if my memory's incorrect.
God, I love that.
You could definitely do it so where if you just get another guitar player and you did all the vocals, you did that back in the day,
I
right?
did.
Yeah, as I recall that, yeah.
Except for, I think, Menstrual Cycle, I couldn't do all by myself.
Who did it? Because there was a time when you were doing majority of the vocals. I know, 'cause I was
A
there.
few times,
When Ben
yeah.
wasn't even in the band, it was
Yeah.
you, it was that Pee Wee Herman looking motherfucker.
Steve.
Yeah,
Headley, yeah.
yeah, and it was Dan, and there was a time too, correct me on this, I brought it up recently, Casey from Flesh Ties was in for a small time, and I don't even
Yeah, I
remember the
thought that
whole.
dude was bad.
Now he just did guitar, right? No vocals?
Actually, he did on the clitoraldectomy. He did a couple,
Okay.
like 2
What
lines.
happened? Because I loved those Flesh Ties
He was
discs.
great, dude. If you remember, I had Casey living with me for a while. He was
Yeah,
cool.
it's a number.
Got him a job. One place down in Lakewood. There, got him a job, and
Dude, I bled all over him. You know that story?
Yes, no.
Is that you probably don't? It was at Ohio Death Fest. We're just standing there
no,
chatting.
I don't think I heard that.
We're standing there
story.
chatting. I'm 15, 16 years at Ohio Death Fest. I'm sitting there chatting with
His
him
nose
because he
used
was a
to
really.
bleed all the time.
I used to get just ironically, even to this day, dude, I have to use like a fucking girl lotion on my skin. Otherwise, it gets really dry. Like if I don't, after a couple days, if I close my hands, my skin will crack and bleed.
Oh yeah, you gotta put some hands.
But as a kid, I got really bad too.
Talk about
And in the house, my dad would burn wood to save there was a
yeah,
stuff
wood
like that.
burner.
And what would happen is my nose would get really dry and it would bleed. So I'd have to put like lotion up my nostrils. And by those days, it would bleed because like the doctor told me, I'm always getting nosebleeds. Like yeah, it's like really dry.
Dry hair.
And dude, I'm talking to Casey. One time my nose just starts gushing blood. It starts pouring on his arm. So, oh, it's cool, bro. Oh, fuck. He said, oh, it's cool, bro. So it was like,
cool.
but-
Casey's a savior, dude.
but
Necro Warlock sent another super chat.
well, hang on, let me finish this real quick.
Oh, okay.
Because I was actually wondering, because like, for example, the Flesh Ties Divide and Conquer EP and the Here Among Thorns, those have never been on vinyl. I would, just as a fan for Hells, I would love to do those on vinyl.
The Flesh Ties.
Yeah.
You know what?
I have
think
no idea what
I got-
happened to KC, nothing.
I got Garth's info, I think. I'll get a hold of him dude,
Okay.
if you're interested.
Yeah, as I to this day, I love those discs.
Yeah, good friends with those guys back in the day. And I'll tell you another story real quick though. Casey saved my life one night.
Oh,
Otherwise
okay.
I would have been dead in like the early 2000s.
Oh, what's that
Oh,
story?
Yeah.
Or they can't tell it.
Well, yeah, I could tell it. I mean, there was a time I was completely wasted. Everybody was. Because you remember those store parties we'd have.
Yeah.
And the chick I was dating at the time wanted to kill me.
Oh, was that the? I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yes, I know exactly.
Yeah,
what you're
she
talking about.
went down with the razor knife. Was gonna
I know you're
slice
talking
my
about. Yeah, I know
throat.
you're talking about.
Yeah. So, but
But
Casey
you did
saved
get
my life.
stabbed, right?
Wasn't by her though.
Yeah, it was
right?
a different chick.
Oh, a different chick stabbed you.
No, his one crazy one I remember. It was the stripper chick, right?
How many crazies are
Or at least she
there?
looked like one.
They're all crazy, right?
Yeah.
Minus her.
Yeah.
But wasn't there a super question?
There
A
was.
super question.
There was a super question.
Yeah.
I think we
Okay.
missed.
Speaking of immolation, Necro Warlock again. Speaking of immolation, would you guys be able to make First of Hell shirts? They did run out of them a bit ago. Sold out a wrestler back in the 90s in a fellow jersey. Headball Mahoney, RIP, wore the shirt, and he got me into them.
Well, it's funny actually. Ross Dolan hit us up slightly after we put out those picture discs, and he was asking for the files because he said they're planning on repressing all those old designs. He said they couldn't find the files. He said we need them. We want to keep those available for our tours. So I think they are. And Eric's just like, yeah, here's what we got from when we licensed it, and they sent them over. So I'm assuming immolation is because Ross asked for them. They didn't have them, and it's like this is what they sent us because whoever we licensed from it wasn't from them. And so we sent them over for the Here and After, Failures for Gods, and Closer World Below because we did all three of those on the picture disc. And Here and After is now sold out. Closer World Below and Failures for Gods.
There's like 10
there's
copies
like
left.
we're down to like last 10, 15 copies. So
People need to buy that up.
yeah. And they came out. I don't know if you ever do. Those came out amazing. It's got a die cut cover.
Yeah,
Ross
yeah.
Dolan, he saw them for the first time again in Maryland. He's like, dude, these are fucking amazing
I
looking.
mean, it's all good quality stuff.
Yeah.
If there's only 10 left, people need to buy that.
Yeah.
Thank God it, man.
But here and After literally was sold out as of last week. So the other two they'll be gone. So and then
So-
we're not repressing when they're gone. They're gone. So
And then Michaela asked, this is definitely a Baxter question. Can you repress Austria's Broken Torso Ultimate Abhorrence? Never been reissued, and I don't want to pay $250 for the CD.
Anything's possible. I know a label that has been doing a lot of re-releases like that lately, and yeah, I think I'm gonna be probably going in on some things in the future. So yeah, that kind of stuff's possible because there is a lot of stuff out there that, you know, an old demo that was so killer, and it's like, oh yeah, somebody needs to put that on a disc or, you know, make some of it available, you know, for a lot of younger people that missed it, or even some of the older people that missed it too, you know. So I think that's a good thing about today. I like that.
I got a question for you, Brian. Now we don't have to talk about I know there was like kind of a falling out. I don't want to talk about that part, but just how they came over here and stuff like that. Because I had good memories of them, and you know we reissued the CD and we depressed the vinyl.
Oh, the Morgue guys.
The Morgue.
Yeah.
The Art Gore, which I loved that, and the Bone Crunch EP. But on Bladed Records, you guys did Art Gore. Now, because of you, I got to watch Morgue live many times.
Mhm.
As they came over here and they were just living in your shop, all of them. And they
No,
didn't speak. And other than
no,
Jean
no.
Paul, the drummer, he didn't speak. Jean Paul, the drummer, was the only one that spoke English. So me and my brothers, we talked to him. But Cougar and Max, at least when they first came here, they spoke like none.
Well,
So my
Max
question
could,
is, my main
Cougar couldn't. Cougar was the only one. The other guys were a little iffy. But yeah, Cougar was actually the only one that couldn't speak English. But he's the one.
He lives here
that
now
still
because
lives
he's married to
here.
Angie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been married like 20 fucking years.
Yeah.
That's how they met.
Yeah. So my question is like, how did that go down? Like, they moved here, they were standard, like, why did they move here? Like, what was the whole, I don't even know what the reason was. I just remember they were
wanted
here.
to just come and play. You know.
But why did they end up staying?
They just wanted to stay, I guess. You know, I was cool with it.
So basically, you're telling me they came here to play a couple shows,
Mhm.
and they're like, fuck this, we don't want to go home?
Yeah, they wanted to stay and do more shows. It's like, okay.
But I mean, they
cool.
stayed for, I mean,
It
a long
was
ass time.
while, yeah.
I mean, a long,
yeah. Yeah, it was a few. And things were pretty good for a while, you know, until they started stealing and shit. And it was like, well, you done crossed the line, you know. We'll see
But I mean, you
later.
get along with Cougar now, though, right?
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't the one stealing.
Okay.
So, you know,
But
I got nothing against
when,
it. It was cool.
And then how long was it? I can't remember. How long were they here? Was it a year or?
It was maybe almost a year. Yeah, it's hard to remember. You know.
Guys, I just remember when this
It
all
was a
again.
while.
I'm so young when this is all going down. So realistically, when you put things in perspective, your first time experience with everything's just new. So you don't think anything of it. You're just like, this is normal.
Well,
So I didn't think anything of it. But looking back, you're like, that was kind of like, why are these French guys here? But I didn't think of it at the time. Just like, oh, they're hanging out, Brian, whatever. Like, but when I look back, I'm like, how the fuck did that go down?
well, that's the thing, you know. I mean, I would help out a lot of bands. Obviously, the shop was, you know, the happening place. There was always a lot going on. Like even The dude from Reinfection stayed for a
And
while.
Melody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever happened to him? I remember him as a cool guy too.
We went to Texas, and then I went back, I guess.
So
People
he's
couldn't
back and
stand
pulling
him.
out.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, he just rubbed people the wrong way.
Oh, he was always cool to me.
And it's like, dude, especially in Texas, you can't do that in Texas.
Okay.
You know, you can't be that type of person in Texas. Those people will chew you up. And
Dude, that because that
Right
reinfection,
out.
you put that out, they die for nothing. That disc is
Yeah.
fucking great.
killer, dude.
Yeah.
We even had a side band, like Smegma, that we did. Me and him. It was like gore grind and shit. When I could get the guy to actually play fucking drums, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was always fun. Just, you know, constant jamming going on, all sorts of shit happening, you know. But yeah. But here's the cool thing, you know, yeah, you talk about reinfection, we had that going on. And we did the CBT, but now, dude, the mutated sex organ, you know, people are gonna hear that like, wow, this is some of the best gore grind really to come out of, you know, the U.S., let alone Ohio, in a long time. I mean, it's, you know, good sound quality, really good stuff. So hopefully people check that out. You know, which Noah, people know him, probably a Nunslaughter,
Yeah.
you know, playing guitar, which I think is killer, dude. I mean, the newer Nunslaughter is better than all the old stuff. I mean, you really can't compare. It's like, okay.
I mean, if you're compared to like
old
talent and shit
stuff.
like that, yeah.
Yeah, talent. I mean, you know, the current Nunslaughter lineup is awesome. You know, Joe Lowry's great on drums. Noah, killer songwriter. You know, it's like. Cool.
So what was your take on always like Nunslaughter during Hell's and Holy Fire and Goat? Like,
Well,
were you just like it's too simplistic or?
Well, no, I think that to me, you know, because I'd always like written to Don, you know, years and years ago. To me, it was more of one of those like sort of like a joke band. You know, it wasn't. I didn't think maybe it was serious, but I never thought it was like really serious type stuff. You know.
I mean, they took forever to put their first full length because technically the first demo was '87, and Hell's and Holy Fire didn't come out until '99. So I can see why some would think that it's like they weren't like taking it. On the outsider looking in, you're not taking it
Well, if you
serious.
compare, you know, '99 even to now, you can't. The new lineup they have and the material they're putting out, it's like, hey, good for them, you know. I think it's really cool. You know, if you have known the band for that long and seen where, you know, they came from, it's like, great, really cool. Which I guess they got a new one coming out. I heard some of it.
Yeah.
Sounds really
I know
good.
it's recorded. Yeah, the Satanic Legions or something. I forget the name. It's Satanic something. Satanic something Legions. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard a lot of it. It was actually really good.
I know it's done. Yeah, it's recorded. Yeah, they finished
Yeah,
it somewhat
people need
recently.
to pick that up when it comes out on Hells, you know. But yeah, the mutant sex organ. Yeah, I'm glad.
But Noah recorded that as well. He said, right?
Yeah, and it's actually real drums.
Yeah,
real drums.
Who does drums on it then?
Noah. That's
Noah
real
plays drums.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know Noah plays drums.
That's real drums on that.
So who plays guitar?
Noah.
And then just Joe does what? Bass and vocals, or just vocals?
Just all the vocals.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
It's
Okay.
killer, but it's all real stuff.
I didn't even know Noah know how to play drums.
Well, Noah's one of those guys. He knows how to do it.
No, we've seen him play.
Noah played. Yeah, I never seen him
No,
play drums.
we mean no. Yeah.
Okay.
Bill McFadden asked a super chat.
Yeah, for whatever reason they can't connect. So read them off because the connection on my laptop's not working. So
All right, so back to the paranormal for a bit. My first apartment in Ansonia, CT, was haunted. Black hooded figures, apparitions, voices, things moving around. I mean, that doesn't really sound like a question, just more of a statement. But I guess
hey,
have you
you
seen
know
that
what?
stuff?
It's real. Yeah.
I'll smoke with you, Brian. Bring the ashtray over here.
Ooh.
Want
Yo,
a
Zach,
cigarette
I
or you want weed?
You know, who
I
else
can't
is
do
in
that. I
the
can't
chat?
do that. I can't do
Mike
that.
Violate is in the chat. I thought he was
I mean, the
dead or
ghost
in
stuff is
jail.
real.
No, Mike texted me the other day too because he's gonna be at Dead by Dog.
I thought he was dead or in jail.
Mike's alive and well. Sure, I'll use one. Here's
Fresh.
Fresh.
I just
roll.
rolled
Why
a
don't you
little
have
bit
the
of-
cool thing on your cigarettes?
Yeah.
Your wife makes the coolest shit.
She made me a
There's
cooler
nothing
pack.
on this.
Yeah.
She made me a cooler pack than you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, that pack's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. What are you? I got a question for you, Brian. So you're talking about paranormal, and I brought up. What is your take on? Because you're a King Diamond fan, but I don't know if you're like a super fan like me. So following the interviews and shit. He's said this many times. And obviously he brought it up in the lyrics and like Dangerous Meeting with Merciful Fate, and I think even the Princess in Hell. Definitely, actually, one of my favorite King Diamond songs off them. The Invisible Guest, when he says "Cups are rising in thin air."
Yeah,
that's based off the thing. He says, but he says supposedly at his one hotel, he's like the Metallica guys were there too. This is like in the '80s. Is they're sitting at a table. He's like, none of us are drinking alcohol. They're just drinking coffee, and they're sitting there having a conversation. The coffee mugs just literally rose like 3 fucking. He said that it's definitely haunted. 3 feet off the table. He's like, everyone saw it. He's like, that's where that line came. That eventually uses it years later on King Diamond. What do you say to that? Do you think that's bullshit, or were you like, I believe that?
I mean, I wasn't there.
No, I know, but would you
think?
But based on your beliefs, do you think that's a possible thing?
Anything's possible, yeah. Yeah.
What do you feel about cryptids? So you know I'm really big into cryptids. Like not like Bigfoot fun, whatever, right? You know. But like
they probably
other
do exist.
Yeah, right?
I really think they do.
Yeah.
Cryptids, yeah.
Well, then what about ETs or aliens, whatever you call?
Oh, he totally.
They probably do too, man. You know, just because you ain't seen one doesn't mean they aren't there.
I will say this because I do like watching the documentaries and shit on that. And the guy that has the best stuff is Dr. Stephen Greer. If you look him on YouTube, he's like the expert on it.
You would like him.
If you watch shit on it, it's almost impossible to deny. He even shows like evidence. It's literally impossible to say they don't exist. If you're to watch it,
ghosts.
Aliens. I mean, he says without there's no. He's like there's not. He's like we have bodies.
Justin calls them ETs.
He's like well, that's what he calls them. Extraterrestrials. He's like we literally have bodies. We have bodies and craps. He's like this is not a maybe. He's like we fucking have them. He's like it's documented, 100%.
Well, and he's also like he talks to every president. That
He's the one. He was basically his
like
back.
you have to get briefed.
Yeah, his long story short. To tell you his position, if you look him up, his backstory was he was a medical surgeon, and he got brought into because his background with the extraterrestrials, he had experience with them, whatever. I forget the full story on that. He was the one in the White House for briefing him in the 90s.
What if he ever banged one of them aliens? Like,
actually, someone had that guy asked an interview. Ever had sex? Because if you ever had an encounter with an alien, he's like, yes, I have. So he's like, you've seen them, yes. Someone says, have you ever had sex with an alien? He's laughing like, no, I haven't. But he's like 100%. I've seen one in person. He's like, and yes, we have bodies. He's like, there's several different ones of sizes and shit like that. He's like, we have tons of crafts. He's like, not just here in that at Area 51. He's like, he named all the bases that there's other bases.
Justin's getting very serious.
He's like, they have crap. But he breaks it down.
You see it?
But I'm just saying, like, if you actually watch it, it's almost impossible. Like,
this is my life every day.
At least you're like, it's impossible to say there's no way.
Right.
But the ghost shit, I've never seen on that.
And I'm watching
the ghost shit. I can say, you know, from my personal.
He cuts it off of the ghost shit. He's like,
Brian's seen the ghost shit.
I've seen the ghost shit.
I've never seen nothing on that. Experienced nothing on that.
Yeah, it's.
I have.
Fucked up, dude. It's like. Yeah. But you know that's why I believe only because I've seen it. Yeah. You know, otherwise I'm like, yeah.
Is that why you got into horror movies? I mean, did it happen when you were younger or older?
I've always liked horror movies since I was young.
When you were young, did you have any experiences?
No, not until
Yeah.
I had the record store in the fantasy complex.
That was your first experience.
Yeah.
But you were into horror, like obviously we can see.
Yeah, I was into horror, you know, but.
Well, you're not the I can't remember who. You're not the only one that said that about the fantasy club.
No,
I said it. Me.
No, but also about other people that have been there for
other
like
people
that work there and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm
the owner, the ex-owner, that Michelle. That was Michelle, right?
There was the whole family.
Yeah, does she think that too, or you don't never asked her?
Yeah. I guess she tried to get a hold of me for that one TV show when they were.
Okay.
You know, because I had seen her not too long after that, up at the Fantasy or whatever. But yeah, I mean, that whole family, they've all seen stuff, and you know, I've experienced stuff. You wouldn't believe it. It's like, But I'll tell you what, my suggestion is if you do have some like ghosts or something going on, don't piss them off. Do not piss them off because they,
Be kind.
Well, Merciful Faces can be a dangerous meeting.
Exactly.
That whole song's about practicing
I
black magic.
I had one night there, and you know, all sorts of weird shit, and you know, I'd be probably half buzzed or whatever. And, you know, I started going off on them, but then. Later, some more shit would start to happen.
But I would have skeptic. What if they said that? Okay, well, dude, you were stoned or you were high.
This shit would happen even when I'm not.
Okay.
But what I was, then I get pissed off at them, you know. I mean,
So
'cause
you
would
lived?
see,
Wait, you lived in there the entire time?
yeah, because I would work.
The shop was like connected, the same building.
Yeah, and I had my whole.
Well, I never went there. I'm not.
Yeah, it's
opposed to
connected,
it.
like it's right next door. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, where you have the extreme music shop.
Yeah, so I would sleep in the back like all the time.
But where did
because I'd
you
be
like
so
shower
late.
and stuff?
Gym.
Well, I'd go to the gym.
Oh, okay.
That's how I asked him that back in the
Few-
day. Where do you shower, bro? At the gym, bro.
At the gym. But then I also got a house, sort of renting a place for a while. You know, once the board guys came, so they had a place to crash. But I'd always be at the shop.
Oh, so the more guys weren't sleeping in the shop.
No, we had a
How
place
did
in
they get
Lakewood.
here for so long though, without like visa? Was it different then? Like, was it easier for them to come over here?
Well, yeah, they could come over here and they, just live for a while or
But
whatever.
that dude's been here since then.
Yeah, well, he
Well, I
married
know
a friend
who he
of
is. He's one
mine.
of my
Yeah,
friends.
married Angie or whatever.
Yeah.
and They're cool.
Is that what happens? You just have to marry an American lady?
Yeah, that's what they were all about. They're like, oh, we gotta put in. It's like, yeah, you guys aren't meeting any chicks. You know?
No,
You
it's
just
a big
screw it up.
sausage
Just
fest.
screw it up.
Why is
Screw it
metal
up.
such a sausage fest? Why do you think?
Most women just aren't into that type of music.
And the women that are
Yeah.
there already usually with somebody.
Yeah, a lot of times, maybe not, but.
So
yes.
there's no luck for you guys here if you don't have a girl.
A lot of these guys, yeah, that just not happening.
It's not happening.
It's like, you see a lot of these guys like, dude, you smell so bad. You're never gonna get a girlfriend when you smell that bad. It's like
Oh,
you
I
gotta
see that.
shower, scrub a little bit.
Hygiene.
Rub some, yeah.
Mike Violet, or Violet, god damn it, sorry Mike. Brian is telling a spooky tale. I'm only a little scared.
Yeah, the ghost stuff was real. There's one night I had to leave. It was like, oh man.
Oh, was that bad? Yeah?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Like, yeah, I'm out of here for the evening.
They got that pungent stench. Boom, I said. And you like pungent, right?
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
like pungent stench.
That's why I was surprised you weren't there the last time I played.
Yeah,
I
see,
think
a
you
lot-
had something going on.
Either I got a
I
show
think
or
we
a lot
called
of times,
you,
it's
yeah.
like, oh,
No, I think
wanna
you
do
had
something.
your cover band was playing.
Maybe, yeah. You're
Everybody
jamming
loves the
hard. It's like, oh,
leprechaun.
there's a show or something I can play. I go play. 'Cause that happened the other day. There was
Did
a
you
show
ever
I wanted
mess
to
with the
go
Ouija
to.
board? That girl wants to know. I don't. So no.
I've tried,
Eh.
but I never really got anywhere with it. It
With what?
wasn't the
I just
Ouija
don't want it to
board.
be
Oh,
open.
yeah.
I don't want it to be open.
Yeah, the Ouija board. Yeah, it didn't really work out for me. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
But, hey, maybe there's somebody else that it did, but yeah, never me. Not the Ouija board. But yeah, ghosts are definitely real, man. Definitely real.
So what if you're fucked? Like when you die and you're stuck here, then does that kind of suck?
You know what? If you are, you might as well just make the best of it. Like if you're a ghost and you can do weird shit and fuck with somebody, you might as well have fun on your ghost.
Let's
time,
say it's a
right?
similar situation as obviously you've seen it. You had to have the movie Ghost.
Is that the one with Patrick Swayze?
Correct.
Okay.
Let's say it's a similar situation to that, but you can't get it to the point where you can learn how to push people and touch people. So you're outside. You're
Pretty
basically.
screwed and
That's what I'm
probably
saying.
pretty frustrated.
That's what I'm saying. Don't you think that would
yeah.
kind of suck?
Yeah, that would totally suck. Totally would.
So if that's your if that's your afterlife, I mean that kind of blows, right?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
Well, obviously,
Yeah.
Evil Dead, the original, you love. Did you watch
Yeah.
the remake?
I loved the remake.
I loved it. I thought it was greatly
awesome.
done.
It was killer. I loved it.
I don't
And
know,
the
I've seen
whole
it.
like drug aspect, like that she's on heroin, I was like, oh man, this makes so much sense. What I
It
didn't
was
like
a
was
good
the
movie.
newest one.
Evil
it was-
Dead Rise. I fell asleep twice. I don't think I've seen the whole thing.
I haven't seen it.
Well, it's more family oriented, like
Yeah, I don't
know.
didn't do it. But yeah, the original
Of
Evil
course.
Dead remake, yeah, it was good.
What about all
Evil
the
Dead 1, Evil Dead 2,
Army of Darkness,
Army of Darkness,
yeah.
get out of here.
what about all the Texas chainsaws? Like, what did you like and not like?
Well, please, let's just
well,
cut
I
it off where it
first.
belongs.
Yeah.
I liked. Part 2, I loved.
Okay.
That was killer. Part 3 was pretty cool. The Next Generation one.
Terrible.
Which
really
one?
did
Which
so.
one's with what's his face? that popular pretty boy guy from The Time to Kill and shit. Is that McConaughey or?
He was in part 4.
No,
yeah.
that's,
okay.
you're thinking about the wrong thing.
Yeah, I couldn't get into it.
Okay, and then what did you think of the remakes of the Texas Chainsaw?
Terrible.
The first
They were
remake
terrible.
No, I
was
liked them.
pretty cool. I like
What,
that
like
one.
at the end where she comes in and she's like, it all comes together? Do you like a buttoned up story? Is that why?
Well, I think the one with the R. Lee Emery or whatever.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah,
That one was really
and then
good.
the Texas Chainsaw at the beginning with him too. He's the sheriff. I thought that was good.
Yeah, those ones. But there was some of the other later ones.
I never saw those. Yeah.
Terrible.
No, the two remakes, the very first remake in the early 2000s with what's his face, yeah, from the full leather jacket or full whatever the fuck it's called. That was good, and he's in the second one where he's the sheriff,
Yeah.
where Leatherface is born and they throw him in a dumpster. I mean, that was a pretty brutal movie.
I'll have to go back and rewatch.
Oh, dude,
I
that-
can't remember.
Oh,
the
that
name.
brings
Texas
me
Next
back.
Generation.
Okay.
No, it's the beginning. It's when,
Oh, the beginning,
it's when
okay.
Leatherface is born. Dude, that is a pretty brutal movie. Like where you're like,
Let's go
holy fuck,
rewatch
this is kind of
that.
like
But
gruesome
he
as
watches
fuck.
so much brutal stuff that's not brutal to him.
Nah, that was that.
No, he's watching.
As
stuff
far as
you
a
have no
modern
idea.
movie, I challenge you to find a more brutal modern movie than Texas Chainsaw at the beginning.
Okay.
Because especially like because his mom dies in the fucking meat factory and they just take the baby and throw him in the dumpster, and that was kind of fucked up. I mean, it was like kind of fucked.
Because there was the beginning, and then after that was the 3D one.
I didn't see those. The last one I saw was in the
Then
beginning.
there was like a Leatherface. Then there was another remake that was like only on Netflix, maybe.
I never seen
Yeah,
any of those.
you're right.
It's hard to.
But how did you
Yeah.
feel then about like the what is it called, the zombie rejects, all that stuff? You like that? I mean, I saw a
Devil's
couple.
Rejects?
I saw a
I
couple
love
of that.
Devil's
Yeah.
Rejects.
So I was
That's
not
what I'm
into
doing,
it.
Oh yeah, I like that.
The
House
first
of
one, fine.
Oh yeah.
But
House of
anything
Thousand
else
Corpses.
after, I didn't really care.
I even liked 3 from Hell.
I hated
never
it.
seen that
I
one, yeah.
hated
Most
it.
people do hate it, but I
But
liked
you
it. I
enjoyed
thought,
it.
Yeah.
It's your style.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not hating on it.
But
I'm
I've
just saying,
seen
like,
so many shitty movies. I'm not too picky. A lot of times.
all right,
you
what
know?
is your 5 top porno grind bands?
Boy, that's tough.
Because you love that stuff.
Well, definitely CBT. You know, you gotta like them. God, even like some other bands that aren't too popular, like Vile Disgust, Holy Cost. I mean, there's so many good gore grind bands, dude.
I wouldn't even throw that in there. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of good
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, I check out all the stuff. You know, even Rompa Prompt's really good, stuff like that. You know, tons of it. And the Mutated Sex Organ, got to bring that up again. You know, get it through a bladed. Hell's Headbangers actually has the bio-splattered version.
Oh, we got those at the bottom.
Yeah. There's only 100 of those. So if you're overseas, get it from Hell's. If you're in the U.S., you can get it from Hell's too, or
Libido
get it from me.
airbag.
I love
Somebody
Libido.
asked, yeah.
Barrel blowjob.
Just Bay
yeah.
Area asked. Yeah.
Barrel blowjobs, killer. Yeah.
Disguster asked Baxter, have you seen Anal Ball?
Anal ball, what?
It just says, have you seen Anal Ball? Anal Ball. Anal Ball.
Oh, you mean Annabelle
Oh,
or anal ball?
I mean, it looks like you gotta get close.
Annabelle, yeah, I've seen Annabelle. Yeah.
Is that what he's asking?
I don't know. It
Oh,
sounded
like the
like
movie?
I thought she said anal ball. I mean,
I don't know if that's a band
That's
or
what it
what,
looks
yeah.
like. Baxter, oh, maybe he is saying Anal Ball.
he'll clarify.
Clarify. Because I
Maybe
did
there's
not
something like Anal
like that. Wait,
Blast.
did
Yeah.
you like the
There was
Annabelle?
the one Annabelle was
It was
killer.
terrible.
There was the one that was good.
Awful. It
But
was
there,
awful.
the Annabelle, I think.
Okay, the
third
one where she's
was-
pregnant, she's like the demon's standing in the window and she jumps. Like I was like, okay. But the second one with like the orphanage kind of situation, I thought that was amazing. It was
See, I think
such a
that's the
good
one I
movie.
thought sucked. There's the one I couldn't even get through it.
No, I think you're thinking about the first one.
Honestly, you know.
Did you ever watch like the Goosebumps stuff, the R.L. Stein stuff?
No,
No, you never got into it. I'm surprised.
We should
Well, I
probably
think
like
I
a
was too
teenage.
old.
Yeah, you see how when that
But
comes
I
out,
think
yeah.
it might be something you could go back to
I mean,
because
it's just-
the mask stuff, the story stuff. I think you would.
Yeah,
be into.
maybe.
It might be just like
But I
a.
think that was, I was
Would be a
little
nice
too
present
old.
for
Yeah.
Sort of like Nightmare Before Christmas. A lot of kids like that. Yeah, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
I was
There
super
was
into it when I was
Beetlejuice.
young.
I'm not into that.
Oh,
no.
come on.
Yeah, I'm definitely not into that. No.
At all. Well, I did notice
I'm
you
more
have
of a-
no Beetlejuice here.
No, I don't like Beetlejuice.
Oh my god. What about District 9? Somebody just said that. I
The
like the
Alien
first one.
movie?
Yes, the
Yeah,
first
I
one was
liked it.
great.
I thought it was good, yeah.
Right at the end, like when
It
he
was
starts
good.
changing and it's like, oh shit, this is bad. In South Africa, we don't have many movies that like come out of South Africa. So to
No,
see that kind of shit and be like, well, it's kind
Yeah,
of like
that
a.
was a good movie.
I thought it was good too.
That's what I like about having
Good job, Thomas.
such a huge library. There's a lot of this old shit I can go back and revisit, pull it out of the collection. It's almost like a new movie again.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, I definitely like that. Because I do it all the time. I think I remember this was good, but I will check it out.
So there's never a night you don't watch a movie?
Usually that's my thing when I go to bed, finally. Just throw on a movie.
So no doubt tonight you'll watch a movie.
Yeah, when I go to bed, I'll throw something in.
So Donald asked, and I have to
Tusk.
ask. So Tusk, let's talk about it.
Is that the one with Justin Long?
Where he turns him into.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated it.
Yeah, it wasn't my thing.
I
you know?
watch it? Of course I watch it. And when he has to eat the fish to like stay alive, I was like,
Yeah, that movie wasn't too good. I didn't really
Wally's
like
never insane.
well, because Justin doesn't watch horror movies with me, so
Oh, shame on you.
no, it's
I don't
okay.
watch too many movies.
He
period.
likes like somebody asked if you like war movies. Justin likes that kind of stuff more,
What do I like?
like war, like
Like what?
Punisher, Daredevil, like the
Yeah.
fighting stuff.
You're more of a
I-
Schwarzenegger command.
Well, everybody
yeah,
likes
yeah.
everybody likes
Conan type of guy.
Everybody likes Schwarzenegger, man. Who don't?
I'm not. I like a good, terrible movie. Like it's like what is
So
it
you
called?
like more of the ones that make you feel different, or
Yes.
more of the ones that are more artistic?
Right.
Or...
I know. I like all of those, but I don't mind like a huge, like the beginning of it, you're like, what is going on here? And then at the end, you get the payoff, and I'm like, all right, there we go.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because everybody now, I think at our age, wants instant gratification. I don't need that with a horror movie. I like the long, drawn out, terrible,
But you like a
torturing
good payoff
process.
at the end,
Yes.
though. Yeah.
Like they did that remake of Speak No Evil from the Australia. So I like a lot of foreign movies.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about it before with Lena. I like a lot of subtitled movies. It's just in my wheelhouse,
A lot of
right?
good foreign movies.
Exactly. You know what I'm
I
saying.
mean, the subtitles are harder to watch,
But
but there's
we
some
have-
killer foreign films.
Well, as Americans, we've remade some great movies. Like, so, Speak No Evil in Australia, it was an Australian movie. It was not in subtitles, but, you kind of need them with how they talk.
Yeah.
They remade it into an American movie. It was fine, but the original was terrifying. I like to be terrified. Like,
Well, it's sort of how they did like The Grudge, that was originally.
exactly,
You know,
exactly.
and then they
Same
remake
thing.
it in America.
Yeah, no,
I mean, I
like
wish in
that.
America they would make more original stuff, but.
So Thomas said Justin's over the horror movie questions, but one more horror movie question I will ask because I am kind of curious. What are your thoughts on Saw movies?
I love Saw.
Where do
I
you
love
like all
Saw.
of them?
I liked them all.
Oh,
I did.
Okay.
I haven't
Even the
seen
one
them.
with Chris Rock was actually good.
It was not
I
good.
never saw
I
the
liked
ones.
it.
I saw the first
Okay.
3 and I
I
like those. I
actually
like the second one the best.
Oh, and the
But I think I
Hostel
was-
fucked me up.
Oh, I
That
love
shit fucked me
Hostel.
up, yeah.
I never seen. I never
Hostel.
watched it. Yeah.
Well, because I watched it once and it fucked me up. The thought of being kidnapped in a foreign country is why I don't want to go to Holland. Because that shit'll happen.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
more
I'll be
likely to
like
happen in
being
Mexico or
murdered.
Colombia.
I mean,
No.
just be careful what hostel you stay at when you're there. You know?
I'm never staying in a hostel.
You might want to
Look
read
at
the
me.
reviews.
High kidnap rate.
Yeah, I love the Saw movies. They keep dragging them out, and I guess
Oh, that's
there's
a
going to
good
be
one.
more. It's
Well,
like,
what I
oh,
cut off, the reason why I stopped watching after the third is because in the third one, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the third, Jigsaw dies in it. And you're like, well,
Well,
what the
yes,
fuck?
yes,
Like,
yes.
and then he's
Yeah.
back alive. I'm like, what kind of shit is this?
But he's not,
he's not.
yeah.
See,
But
we didn't watch
But
it
they were
together.
good movies. I really enjoyed them. I enjoyed
The
them
Chris
all.
Rock was not great. It was not great.
I can't
Okay,
say it was
okay.
super great, but I did enjoy that movie. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I was like, oh, this is actually really good.
Do you ever go to the theater for new movies at all?
All the time.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Dude, I
You
like.
also go to, you take her to drive-ins.
Oh, we go to the drive-in all the time. It's the best.
Actually, can you tell me which one you go to? Like,
Autorama. Next time we go, I'll call you guys.
Where's Autorama?
Like
right down the
Ridgeville.
street.
Dude, it's
Okay.
super easy to get to. I like going because I can smoke, can drink.
Well,
Dude, I
obviously.
roll up some weed, and you get 2 movies for like I think $12, $15. Party, enjoy some food. I mean, it's great, dude. Yeah, I love going to the drive-in when I can. You know.
I don't know. Okay, hold on. Okay.
Well, like, what's a new movie you went to a regular theater for? Like, what's in the last year? Like, what's something
I don't
you
know
saw?
what's Mike's
Went
problem. with me.
Final
And
Destination 6.
I don't know.
It's great.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I'm
went
not
there
really
for
sure what
that.
his problem is with
And
me.
what was the other movie they showed?
We got along last time I saw
I
him.
can't remember. But usually, you don't
Oh,
want to go to the
7
kids'
was the-
side. You don't want to go to that. You just want to go to, whatever. If they got a good horror movie, Yeah, the drive-in's great. Unless you got a shitty car, it may suck. If you got a shitty car, but I got that.
You have a nice car.
Yeah, I got a nice car, nice SUV, so it's fun.
Yeah.
I love the drive.
If you have a shitty car, just shit sucks in general, right?
Not really. You make the best of it.
Yeah. Is there any other
You
questions?
want another
Ernie?
one? Here, okay. I'll get it.
I was gonna have
Hold on.
Big jar. Yeah, the beer goes quick. Dude, it happens. Beer and the weed goes quick.
What do you do on like a regular work night? Do you drink too, like, or?
Yeah, sometimes I don't. Usually I'm just so busy because there's the label, the bands, so I'm always trying to do something. Always trying to do something, and try to eat dinner or whatever, pass out, try
You're
to
a
watch
busy
movie.
guy.
But, yeah, just
What's a typical Baxter dinner?
whatever's quick and easy, bro. Yeah. I wish I ate really good, but yeah, I don't.
Yeah. Are you a big pizza guy or?
Love it. Oh yeah, definitely love pizza.
So what's the best pizza place?
You know what? I try to different stuff here locally. But even like Domino's is killer, dude. Good deals and stuff. They got Antonio's, all sorts of
Oh,
stuff.
you guys have Antonio's out here?
Yeah.
Your
one right
wife
over there.
told me, she was like, yeah, when he gets pizza, he only gets like, I think she said Domino's. I'm like, what?
Domino's, yeah, it's good.
You have all these pizza places. Why do you
Tons.
need Domino's?
Well, I think Domino's is even better than what's the other one down there, Napoleon's. It's better than that.
Oh, it's better than Napoleon steak?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my god, that is.
So you don't get a Steeler Jim and Napoleon's?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about though?
Mhm.
The Kanye pizza?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kanye, what an entertaining guy. Definitely if you put a quarter in too,
When did you first meet him? Do you remember what year that was?
Dude, I met him, I think it was 91 maybe.
Oh, that early.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
okay.
91. I think it was a Flash's show. I remember my first interaction, I think it was my first interaction when I originally met him. There was some big fight, and I think somebody got hit in the head with a baseball bat outside or something. But I think, yeah, 91.
Oh shit.
So
okay.
how old were you in 91? Like,
17,
Okay.
18 maybe, something like that. No, 17 I think. Yeah.
Okay.
I got to do quick math, dude. I'm old.
Evan Williams said, heck yeah, Baxter, I'm the GM of Domino's store here in Mississippi. He loves that you shouted it out.
You think send me some coupon codes.
I know, right? Oh my goodness. Let's see.
There's nothing else on you.
Oh, The Devil in the Blacksmith. Have you heard of that one?
The what?
Devil in the Blacksmith.
I do not have that movie. Nope.
Do you know what it is?
No, I don't have that
I'm
one.
gonna have to look that up.
Might have to look it up. I mean, I'm always getting new stuff. Like, I just try to find stuff that I don't have.
But
newer,
when you say
older.
don't have, like, when you buy a movie, and let's say you didn't like it, do you keep it or do you get rid of it?
Oh, I keep it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I keep
Well, we saw the room upstairs.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's just all stuff that you like. So you definitely own shit you don't like.
it. Yeah, there's probably a few. I mean, very rarely will I get rid of stuff. But I guess sometimes I do. But yeah, I'm always buying something new.
Well, you definitely have movies that you haven't watched in 10 years plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the great thing about having such a big library.
Yeah.
Like I was saying earlier, you can pick something up. I haven't seen that in a long time, but I remember it was good, but I don't remember it, so it's almost like a new movie.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, or somebody will suggest something, you know, like she was mentioning, oh yeah, I might have
Yeah.
to pull that out of the,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
should.
the archives and check that out again. That's right, that was a good movie.
How do you have the
actually-
files? Alphabetized, or what do you have?
Alphabetical.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And actually, Cat Shades kind of just said something which is
Oh, Cat
funny.
Shades.
He's here.
Let me
Hold
get
on,
the,
wait.
Let me get the knife out of my
Wait.
back from that guy. Jeez.
He did ask though, like if you watched The Substance, and I did, and I actually like that. I did not
liked
think
it.
I would.
Oh, is it?
I like
My
it.
mom watched it first, and so my mom is like very Christian, Catholic, not Christian, sorry. She's a Catholic lady, and she's like, "Yeah, I watched this movie, and it was really good. I think you'd like it." I'm like, whatever. I mean, grain
It
of
was
salt.
good, actually.
It was
Yeah.
so good.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, we're talking about Cat Shades now. Talk about it.
Yeah, dude's a total
Take it out.
backstabber.
How's he backstabber?
Well, here's the thing, Cat Shades. I've known him since
Open
I
this
think
for me.
like 96 or 97, right? I mean, Cat Shades is like the 7-year locust, where you only see him every few years, and he's annoying and buzzing around,
Okay.
and you know. But you know, he wants to be like the Dawg, dude,
What do you mean?
and wants to do a YouTube channel.
Okay.
So he wants to be you. You're like his idol.
I'm his idol, huh?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
a big
God.
Dawg fan. You know, so I'm cool with the dude. It's like, okay. I mean, we had problems before. I won't get into those. But, can you come on my show and do an interview with you? Okay, bro. Cool. I'll help you out. I'll go on your show. Ask whatever, you know. And this was the night the Roadrunner show in Cleveland. So obviously I got a lot going on anyway. I'm booking the show, playing around. You know, we got the TISH show set up. I'm like, yeah, I'll do an interview. So I do an interview, you know, a little weird, but, and then a few weeks later, the guy does nothing but bash my band. It's like,
Oh, really?
dude.
Which band was he? Which one?
Regurg.
What was he? What was he? How's he bashing it?
Just saying all sorts of stuff that like wasn't even true, and you know I'm hearing all this shit people are asking me about. And I'm like, well, what the hell, you know? So it's like, all right, dude. Well, that's cool. You know, now he probably realizes why when he asks about some show, and I think 2010 on Columbus, where he wakes up and he's bloody. Well, gee, you know, maybe that's why.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah, I don't know the guy. I just met him for the first time at the Roadrunner show. He comments
But
on my
it's just
channel.
a real shitty type of thing to do. It's like, all
Yeah.
right, dude, I'm, you know, cool with you. I'm being cool with you. I help you out so you know, you can try to get your, you know, video channel going, and then you're gonna stab me in the back. It's like, you know, people like that are a big problem in the scene. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, people like that. You don't want nothing to do with those type of people.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's
That's
surprised.
the
I mean,
PC bitches, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not the PC, but backstabbers like that. It's like, fuck that guy.
yeah, like I said, I don't know him. But nobody surprises me these days.
Well, he wears a pink hat, I think.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's like the 7-year locust. You only see him every
Yeah.
few years. He's buzzing around.
yeah.
So
annoying.
he's
Yeah.
obviously here. So
Yeah.
he said, I never said anything negative about Brian or Ben or Tony.
Okay. Whatever, dude. You keep on lying. You know, half the stuff you lie about anyway. So it just shows what type of person you are. You know. So fuck him.
Yeah, I don't watch his stuff. I don't watch anybody's stuff. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, do you like pink hats? You a
I've
bald
seen
hat
that.
fan?
Yeah, I've seen him. No, yeah. I mean, I've seen him, and I was just like, I mean, I could just tell. I mean, whatever he comments, I'm just like, I mean,
Well, I didn't know if like
he's not my crowd. That's
well,
for sure.
like,
I was
he
like, I
wanted
can just tell by
to
looking at him.
interview Justin, right? And he did, and that was fine. And
He
I'm
probably
happy
wanted to
you're
do
here.
more than that to the Dawg, you know.
But he
Possible,
like
some
was
do.
like asking him to like write like how do you spell this, and I was like, are you making fun of him? Like
I
that's
mean,
what I asked him. I was
everyone
like, what
does,
are you
but-
doing?
But yeah, what a shitty person. Just people like that.
Layla Lover wants to know, will Baxter be joining us in the parking lot for dogs and burgers at the pre-dead Dog Fest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Mikhail
course.
He
sent
said it because I
a.
saw at the open house. You know the.
Yeah, I'm
he
definitely going to that.
Said he's bringing Smokey Joe and burgers and dogs.
Great, dude. I'll go hit that up, man. Oh yeah.
Great.
Yeah, the day before, I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
it. You know, the warehouse.
Dude, there's gonna be a bunch of people there.
Yeah, we're gonna hang out,
Yeah.
party,
I think-
you know.
Yeah.
So Mikhail just
Try
sent
to put
another
this off
super
easy.
chat. Mikhail sent another super chat, but he just said, Justin, what's your opinion on Nemesis Divina? I never say that right. By Satrion. I think it's in the top 10 black metal albums of all time personally.
The band is Nemesis.
Oh no, Satrion, like the
Satiricon?
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say.
Satiriqueer.
Satiriqueer?
Yes.
It's okay. I mean,
I
I
can't
like.
read it right.
You know,
Like,
it's
my
funny
brain
as
doesn't read it right.
people don't like my
We understand.
people don't
Okay.
like my takes on Satiriqueer. I like. You know, it's funny. I think their best song they ever wrote is "Fuel for Hatred," and it's on their Volcano later album. I think that's considered their gay album, but I think that's the best song they ever wrote. I mean, dark medieval times and shit. It's like, yeah, it's obviously like it's true black metal, bro. You put it on, you're like, yeah, there's kind of nothing there. It just kind of goes in one ear out the other. But as a whole, I thought their best album was the Now Diabolical, the title track, songs like King. I thought those were good. So as a whole, I thought the best album was Now Diabolical. I'm sure all the Cobalt black metal guys are huffing and puffing at the screen. And I think and I think their best song ever is Fuel for Hatred. Although the rest of that album, I think that's on the Volcano album. The rest of the album pretty much fucking blows. Rebel Extravaganza, that was kind of a fucking tough listen. And then, yeah, I mean, that's kind of my take on it.
What do you think of Whimperer coming back around?
Whimperer,
What's your thoughts on that?
Dude, Whimperer was I didn't like them on their first full length. I liked them on their EPs. When their first full length came out, I didn't even really care for that much.
Did they play like recently here somewhere?
If they did, I wasn't
Or
there.
they're getting back together or something?
Aren't they all? When they get offered a $50,000 check, and I can guarantee you that's what a band like that's getting offered.
Wow, more power to
Yeah,
them.
I mean, it's just funny. And again, Ishon and stuff. Like, now, would you interview him, Dog? Well, of course, because obviously that brings eyeballs. But I'm
Did
just.
you rip on him during the interview?
I might bust your balls a little bit, like,
Bust
hey,
his balls?
because but I'm just saying, guys like that. I'm like, dude, you do realize there's zero chance that he's into metal at all, right? Not that means anything. I don't care what another grown man listens to, but what just makes my sack a little itchy is when you're playing in a technically a black metal band or true black metal and extreme metal band, and you're literally listening to fucking ZZ Top and Nazareth, and that's all you listen to. Granted, if you listen to that, I understand that's your generation, but I'm telling you, I don't even think that guy's listening to Bathory, Possessed, or like you would think stuff that he grew up on. I'm pretty sure he doesn't. Could be wrong, but I'd be willing to bet money he doesn't. So it's kind of like, what am I getting at? Again, don't care what a total grown man stranger listens to. It's just complete cash grab black metal. It's purely for a paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing if you're making money and you're passionate about it, like maybe guys like Cannibal and stuff. Because put it this way, I can guarantee you guys like Alex Webster and stuff, he probably at least still listens to some death metal. At Whimperer, they're not listening to any metal by any stretch.
You don't think so at all?
No.
You put money on it?
So
You
yeah,
do?
I put money on it. Yeah, and I mean, so it's pure just cash fucking grab.
Yeah, because otherwise they'd be doing at least something.
Yeah.
You know, or
But then all these people they pay to show, and it's just you hear the amounts. I mean, dude, I've heard some numbers. Some of these bands are getting paid. Like from the actual. I don't want to say too much because the guys from Fest tell me and shit. I mean, it's outlandish.
Yeah.
Put it this way, it's more than 80% of the people that are watching this for one show, they get paid than you make in a year. And it's like these poser fucking fags that don't even listen to this shit. And that's exactly what it is. And it's like
total cash grab.
yeah, it's like it's one thing at least if you're still passionate about it. It's like cool, good for them, but they're not. And that's where it's just like
And I think
I'm
a
not
lot
going
of not
back.
having any of that passion probably shows a lot of times. Too.
Yeah.
Alright, we got
Okay.
Bugsy S. Baxter question. Baxter, Tales is the album that got me into brutal death metal.
It's awesome.
I checked out Deicide and shit for a while. Tales was the album that gave me the push to try BDM again, and now I love it.
That's great. Great to hear,
Yeah.
you know? Great to hear. Which reminds me, I think he brought up Deicide. That's the thing with the Gurge, too. We're going to go out there, we're going to play a lot of shit. We're going to play some Deicide for you.
really.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, yeah. And I was super excited for it. I'm like, well, nobody knows, but we're just gonna put it on people real quick, and I think people would have loved, you know, some sick, you know, cover songs.
Yeah, of course.
By Regurg, you know, including like Deicide.
It's funny because like the band Melting Rot, which I think is a really good Brutal Brian band of today.
Yeah, we love them.
They did that for the show I put on for Lindsay's birthday. That was the first show I did. It was for her 40th birthday. He's like, we got a
Don't say
surprise.
how old I am.
He's like, we got a surprise for it. They covered Cannibal Corpse, Put to Them Death off Eat Back to Life.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was just really cool. Like, I was like, it's cool. To hear that stuff, that's fucking awesome. You know what I mean?
So, Label Lover wants to know, Baxter, do you like cattle decapitation?
Yeah, some of their stuff's good. Yeah, definitely.
And then
Yeah,
we
got
have.
some good stuff.
I don't know. All right, I'm sorry.
But yeah, I think covers are fun to play, and obviously, you know, being
So
a
can
huge
you
Deathmetal
say?
fan,
Wait, can I ask a
I'd
question?
love to play.
You can tell me no.
Stuff.
You can tell me no. But since it's not going to happen, you were talking about something you were going to do for him. Like, can you say what
That's
it
what you
was
said.
at least?
Deicide, we're gonna play
Oh,
some
you were.
Deicide for
I
him.
missed that,
Yeah,
sorry.
special for the dog. Doing some Deicide and stuff. Yeah.
Zerg said,
And some
name
other
of the
stuff.
chick on the cover of Clito.
That's just a made up figment of imagination.
Does she have a name?
You know what? She doesn't.
Because you gave
It's
what's the Tails guy called? Maggot Man?
Maggot Man.
So
That's
she
Maggot
has no
Man.
name. So you gave a
She-
man a name, but not her?
Yeah, she doesn't have a name. I
Call her
think
Junkie Cunt.
we gotta give her a name.
Junkie Cunt's
Junkie
kinda
Cunt.
good. I do like
Yeah.
that.
Granted, that's a Necrophil song, but I thought it was a fine ass title.
Yeah, because that chick doesn't have a name, you know?
So the Ecuadorian XL said Regurgitation and Mortal Decay are top tier and unique brutal death metal bands.
Yeah, Mortal Decay.
You like, yeah, that's
Love
like your
Mortal
yeah.
Decay.
That's our
So
first heard where I
Justin-
said Mortal Decay was from Brian. Shit like
We,
that.
I
Oh,
think
that's
we've got demonetized and taken off for some stuff of that shirt.
Mortal
Really?
Decay.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe because the tits on it. I mean, yeah. I mean,
Oh.
Well,
lot,
they
lot,
look
of,
kind of tiny.
lot of queers out there.
Yeah, how are you gonna report boobs? You know what I mean? Who's gonna report that?
Yeah.
Really? You know, like,
And then it just kills me. But yet the OnlyFans and chicks stripping it. That's I mean, granted, I don't care, but it's like, but you're gonna demonetize a fucking shirt for everybody. Like, it doesn't make any
yeah,
sense.
I think that's just
Talk about a
them
bunch of
just
one-way
wanting to
street
take your
motherfuckers.
cash, you know? Yeah, that ain't right. I
Yeah.
am totally against censorship
Yeah, same.
of any kind. It's,
Same.
You know, if you got children, I get it. Children shouldn't probably be watching this or that.
But in my opinion, that's your responsibility to police it.
Exactly.
That's your
That's
job.
on the parents, not
Correct.
some company.
I know. That's my take on it.
Do
Exactly.
you think
Whoever.
like people say like Regurgitation, all your bands are kind of snuff stuff? Like, do you?
Yeah, well, I mean, even like back in the day, I don't know if you remember, but you know, there'd be chicks throwing full drinks at me on stage. you
Well,
know,
I
because
heard
of-
you were a
I don't recall.
handsome
Yeah.
guy in the day.
Yeah,
I
there's
never-
video. There's video, dude. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because you know how.
You're coming. I can see some of the lingo you'd say in commentary.
Yeah,
might
the
piss some
lingo,
off.
commentary, and
Yeah.
you know, people get offended, and they always have, and
Uh-huh.
they probably always will, you
Yeah.
know. But I mean, that's just what goes with the program.
Yeah, Zerg said your Mortal Decay shirt got like taken off. Whatever.
That's a shame.
Well, then he knows more than I do.
That's such a great album.
He's following my videos more than I am.
Oh, well, thank God, because yeah, no, it got reported.
Remember the first time I saw Mortal Decay is when we had them out. I think it was Cleveland Death Fest, '94, I'm thinking.
So the record wasn't even out yet. They're just doing demos.
Yeah, they only had demos, but I remember Johnny had hair, full hair. He had the crucifix and the blood. Just singing. It was so. They were so good, dude.
Mm.
So good. And
Yeah,
I've
dude, it's
loved
funny
that
because
band
his
ever
vocals on that
since.
demos were so unique, like totally different than anybody.
Yeah, they were great live. You know, it was cool.
CC just sent a
I
super
even like
chat.
Kelly on Sickening and Rock Fanatics.
Yeah, so what?
Too.
I'd say. I
Really
mean, it's
good.
more of a standard like brutal low,
Mm-hmm.
but that record's just fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
Killer.
CC sent a super chat. Lately, I can't get out of bed, or I can't get out my head how much better Perdition Temple would be if Tony Lerma was playing drums. Any thoughts? See you at Dead by Dog.
Perdition Temple, that's Gene's band, right? Gene
So
from
he's
Florida.
just, yeah.
I mean,
No thoughts?
he's talking about Tony from on the Angel Corpse Inexorable, and He played on Nile and Dark and Shrines. He was on, I mean, that guy is just amazing fucking drummer. I don't even know if that guy does anymore. Is he still alive or
I
what?
don't think he
I'm not
plays
sure.
anymore.
But yeah, you listen to his drums, especially my
killer,
favorite.
though.
My favorite record he probably plays on is Inexorable by Angel Corpse, and that's just amazing.
Never
Stuff,
Warlock,
man.
send another $20. Here we go. Brian, ever watch August Underground or Guinea Pig series?
Oh, of course.
Also, Traces of Death. What do you think? I
I like
can't
all that
stomach
stuff.
real gore to the point, but my man, that series had a killer soundtrack from the bands.
Yeah, I like a lot of that stuff. I got a lot of the early August Underground. I got it like signed by like 30 people. It's upstairs, but yeah, I like all that stuff. I support it. Because it's sort of local. They're from PA, you know, the Toe Tag or whatever company. And yeah, I try to support a lot of that stuff. It's cool. Some of it sucks, but you just gotta watch, and you may like it, you may not, you know. Yeah, I like supporting the underground movie type stuff too. Very
Speaking of
cool.
movies in order, is there a single Mortician intro that you either haven't seen the movie or you're like, I'm not sure what movie that is?
Oh, I know pretty much all of them.
Okay, I was almost wondering. Okay.
There's a
That's
lot
pretty
of
good.
them.
Yeah,
so I
there
hear it,
is,
right?
there
So
is.
he'll be putting it on, and I know exactly the movie it comes from. I'm like, all right.
Yep.
I think it's better than Mortician. I like the movies better.
The sound.
Right?
Yeah.
Are you a Mortician fan?
Yeah, I've always liked Mortician.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it? Where would you put that on your list of?
What, as far as their releases, what I like best?
Yeah.
Packed Up for Barbecue, Zombie Apocalypse.
Dude, when we heard Hacked Up for Barbecue, we were so young. Chase bought it, and again at that point, as far as death metal, all we heard was like Cannibal, Suffocation, Deicide, and we're like, whoa, because it was like so low and everything. Dude, I'm young. I'm like 12. And I just thought it was the greatest thing in the world.
I mean, it's heavy. It's just really heavy, down-tuned. You know, like, what are they tuned to? Like A or A flat or something, dude?
And then on top of that, Will's vocals, because there's no highs, it's just all just pure low.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, just ultra low, you know. Yeah, good stuff. I wish they'd put out something new.
Yeah, I know.
But, you know,
It's funny because we do the
they're
math.
going.
The last album was like almost 20 years ago, literally.
Yeah.
You know, it's
I mean,
funny because
I
when I think of Reanimated Dead Flesh, the last record they did, I'm like, yeah, the new record. And you look at it, it's like, oh, it was like 20 years ago.
I mean, I
Like, what
can't
did
say
you think as
anything,
like
you
a
know.
metal guy, like with their drum machine? Like, what did
I like the drum machine.
you do?
I mean, some drum machine bands I actually do like.
Yeah. Viral Load, Mortician, yeah, those bands I liked, yeah.
Yeah, drum machine.
Yeah.
bands.
Because that Viral Load, Brutalized Beyond Belief, that was awesome. I thought so.
I like that. And even better was like the demo, the mouth-watering stench demo. Because I seen them actually, I think it was one of the Texas Grind Fests, 98, and Dauber Beverly played drums for them.
Oh, so I don't know, yeah.
It was like live drums of Dauber Beverly, who, you know, killer drummer, killer dude, you know, we were always good friends. And Viral Load, they had him on
What's
drums.
that? It's just Sean, right? They did,
Yeah, Sean.
What's that dude do these days? Is
I don't know, I seen him last time, maybe 2020.
okay, it's not that long ago.
We played in, it was right when COVID broke out.
Yeah.
And he was up in Dayton, we played too, and so I think the last time I talked to him.
But he's still in the death metal and metal music.
You never know with Sean, dude.
Oh, I don't know the
You
guy.
never
I
know.
met him briefly at
He
I don't even know if it was Viral Low. Maybe it was Insidious Decrepancy. But when they played Ohio Death, I can't remember which one it was. It was Ohio Death Fest, and I met him very briefly.
Insidious Decrepancy, yeah.
So I can't say I know the guy. So I have no good, bad experience. I'm neutral.
I've always been really good with him. I mean, I know he flips out on people.
Oh, I didn't even know it.
Whatever,
Okay, okay.
yeah, but he's
Oh, I
always
didn't know
been
that.
cool. Good guitar player, like
Yeah.
some killer stuff. But I know, I
Who
think
flips
he's,
out on people?
just
Sean
one
from
of
the
them
band.
guys.
You wouldn't know,
Things
Viral Low.
happen,
Yeah.
Well, Casco wants you to sign his canoe.
This kid, he's gonna actually bring a canoe, a big ass canoe to fucking Deadlight Out. Good luck fucking
I would
traveling.
love that.
All right. I mean, if you want to fucking bring it, I guess
Dude, I'll
that's.
tell you what, there is a place, speaking of canoes, place sucked, but it could be cool to where, you know, you could play a show there and
Yeah.
you got like the river and they run out the canoes and shit.
Oh yeah.
That would be killer if you could just like, all right, dude, let me rent your place for, you know, like 1 or 2 days, and I'll pay X amount. It'd be a great place for a fest.
You know, it's funny you say that because I can't think it off the top of my head, but I've been to places where they've been kind of like a bar club, even like where we live, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head where it's like this would be a pretty good place for a metal show. Like, why
That's
is it like?
what I'm saying.
And I'm like, would they even do it? Like, why not? And if not, like, why not?
talks,
Yeah.
dude.
No, I think there's a couple places.
But it's like, I was like, because dude, nothing, dude, when I gotta go to the Agora and shit, I'm like,
I don't want to go there for a show.
It
dude.
sucks
I don't
so
want to pay
bad.
$15 for a beer.
It's
I don't want
not-
to pay
it's
25 in the
20.
park
20.
Oh, it's 20 for a beer?
for
Yeah.
a tall boy, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, it's just,
And
dude, there's,
25
I don't know about
in the
Cannibal Baxter, he's like fucking steel proof and fucking could sleep on 4 hours. There's nowhere now to sit. There's not even bar seats. Nowhere to sit
Justin gets
whatsoever.
very mad if he.
Oh,
can't
dude, my
sit.
back starts to kill me after a few hours. And the thing is, because
I had
like,
a
and if you look around, like,
sensation
good, there's
with it.
seats. No, there isn't. Only if you buy VIP, you could sit.
Which
There's not one
which
seat.
we
But if
will
you look at
do.
the bar, dude, there's not one seat. It's just you walk. I was like, this is bullshit. It's just a miserable time. I hate it, dude. I hate
That's
the
the
Agora.
thing, you want to make shows fun.
Correct.
Yeah, I agree that it's not fun. I like the old days of the Agora. Like, remember?
Dude, he works
They had a booth off to the side and shit. You could totally
you
sit
could
there.
go up to the balcony, sit there,
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
high, drink beer.
You used to be able to go on that inside and smoke.
Yeah,
No, you
Yeah.
can't do
you
that
can have
anymore.
Fun. If I
Yeah.
can't go to a show and have fun, forget it. I'm not going.
It sucks. It literally looks balls.
And it's sad because there is some bands that I would like to go see.
Yeah.
No.
Dude, I'm not going there.
There
to have a
actually
bad
hasn't been
time.
anything.
Yes.
Like, we went to Carcass. It sucked. It was not great. It wasn't great. Like, yes, so we have a nice interview with them, of course, but you can't even
The
do
club's
what you used
terrible.
to be. Like, yeah.
Yeah, the club
You're
sucks
just
all
fucking,
the fun out of
you're
it. dude.
sitting out there. You have to go outside. Then you have to put your beer down to go outside. You're not even allowed to take it down. I'm like, I'm going to get roofied. Like, what am I going to, like,
Yeah,
come
that-
on.
yeah.
It's like, don't get me wrong, I understand they're running a business and it's about making money. I was like, but dude, if you make it an entertaining experience, you can still make
No.
possibly more money because more people want to come.
This is
You want
why
to make
Dead
money,
by
but
Dog is
people
going to
aren't
be
having
better.
fun.
I know, yeah. I was like,
This
it's
is
like,
why Dead by Dog is going to be better.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
hangout. It's going to be fun. We're all going to be there. It's not like bands are hiding from anybody.
Yeah.
And even if you
that's the
want to,
thing,
you
people
could.
want to have fun. If you can't have fun going to a show, fuck that.
yeah.
Why would you go? Why would you spend money? And that's the thing. Dead by Dog is going to be fun.
That's what too. For example, people don't understand. Like, if they're like, "Oh, it's a little bit of a hassle, the location." I'm like, first off, shit for brains. Cut your goddamn complaining. I'm the hassle for me. I gotta literally go up to the airport, pick up Attic, and drive them, which is 60 minutes from the airport to West Side Bowl. You don't, dude. I could have easily had it at some shitty fucking Cleveland club that's 10 minutes down the street. That'd be way more convenient. But those clubs all fucking suck. So that's why I'm having it there. So like they're
Yeah.
bitching about their inconvenience. I was like, it's gonna be a better time. That's why I'm having
And
it
that's
there.
what it's all about, dude. Because if people can't go have fun, they ain't coming back.
No.
Dude.
Yeah, no.
And you know, I hope that this is fun. I think it will be very fun for everybody. And I'm hoping it is because I think, you know, in the future, you know, I'm going
Keep
to
doing
talk
that.
with you about it. That hey, let's get heads together and let's make something
I agree, yeah.
bigger next time,
1000%.
to where we can bring something to Ohio that hasn't really been here for a long, long time. If you know what I'm talking about,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
So.
No, and that's the thing is, especially
And that's the main thing is people got to have fun at the show.
Yeah.
You know, and I think at West Side Bowl, I think people will have fun. Dude.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna have a lot of fun. You know, see some killer music. So.
Yeah. No, that's the plan. And again, I'm just starting it off small, like a one-day thing, and again, see where it leads. Again, people like you
Yeah.
chiming in, because I'm like, that's how you just got to get the ball rolling first.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
people start chiming in. Let's do this or that. Let's work together. But I was like, outside that, I was like, I got to get it going first.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's
yeah.
just start something. I was like, I'm just using my own personal money, putting it on, and let's see where
Takes
the fucking
cash, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Takes cash.
leads. It's
And,
cash money. I know.
you know, but you got to make sure that you're, you know, giving the fans, you know, what a good time, good product. You
Mhm.
know, you can have good bands that people enjoy, have a great time seeing. They got to have fun.
Well, plus even like, for
Yeah.
example, like I'm going on my way, I'm hiring Noah to do sound.
it's gonna sound great.
So it's gonna sound so it's gonna sound good too.
And it has to, because if your fest sounds like shit, you know, people ain't gonna like it.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, so it's important. There's those people, but the main thing is people gotta go out and have fun. And I think a West Side Bowl people will, dude.
Yeah, I agree.
It's gonna be really cool, man. I'm pumped. I can't wait.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Yeah.
Just make sure, you know, before you see Rochefort, you smoke a lot of weed. Get in that zone, grab you a fresh cold drink.
So what was that
'Cause
like?
I'll tell you
for
what, Rochefort is bringing it, dude. We're like,
But
sound
what was
good
that
on
like
fire.
to change over? Like, was it
What do you mean?
stressful? Like the change over from Regurg to Rochefort? Like, was it stressful for you or?
No, actually, I enjoy it. I mean, it's been a little tough, you know, because I gotta learn the stuff, and you know, it's not like, all right, well, here's all the tablature, and we got it out, and Guitar Pro 4 or 5, so you know, it's more, it's real underground. You get some videos, some video clips, you got the songs, and you gotta figure it all out. So you know, you gotta put the work into it. But I tell you what, I enjoy it. Those dudes, they're different, but they're great. They're like brothers to me, and when we get together, it just clicks. Really good. It sounds so good, and the fire that, you know, is with the band right now is definitely better than ever, dude. I mean, this lineup that we have now is by far the best Rochefort lineup. Like, I've seen every lineup.
But how was that conversation like when you found out like he was backing out? Like,
oh, you mean Regurg?
yeah, like how was that?
You wake up in the morning and, you know, the cobwebs out of your eyes, grab your smoke, you go down, you're sitting on the television, you check your phone while you're sitting on it, like, oh, here's one from Ben. Okay. What? What the fuck is this? Are you kidding me?
Dude, it's funny because when you sent me the message, that my response was just kind of like, nothing surprises me. I was like, I'm not shocked. I'll just say that.
I'm not, dude. I'm not shocked, but at the same time, it bums you out. I love Ben. He's always a brother. Yeah, but then it's like, all right, I got time to wake up, think, and you know what? We got a big problem here. I gotta fucking fix this shit.
But did you just respond and say,
take?
okay, bro, or did you just I'm not even gonna argue with the guy, or how did you like leave?
Well,
it?
no, I'm not gonna argue with him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a bro. Love Ben.
Did you say, okay, whatever, bro?
But
That's it?
how
Well, no,
long
I
did
asked
that?
him. I was like, hey, you okay, bro? Or are you
Yeah.
okay?
Are you okay? Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
Yeah. But how long did it take you to write Dawg that message? Like,
Probably, I think the next day, maybe.
oh, really?
Well, yeah, because I mean, you know, as soon as you originally get like, all right,
You try to figure something out.
Oh,
huh?
yeah, I gotta
You're like,
fix
oh,
the
shit.
issue.
Mhm.
That to me is a big problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, your guitar player quit. You got this show coming up. You got to figure out. All right, well, could I get somebody in the door real quick to fill in, to you know, make a good Regurg show like we want? Nope. Okay. Well, time to plan B.
Plan B.
Rochefort. You know, talk to those guys. With okay, here's what's going on with this. You know, hopefully you guys can do it. It's a good opportunity. You know, so, you know, when I told you that, you know, I could fix the problem, not just, yeah, girl, yeah, Ben quit. I don't know what to fucking do. Because you know how a lot of people are.
Yeah, yeah.
They have a problem, and they don't want to fix anything.
Yeah.
But me, I gotta fix it. It's like, okay, I better figure this shit out real fucking quick. Figure it out, you know. So I'm glad that it is sort of, you know, working out with Rochefort. I think people are going to be, you know, that do go to Dead by Dawg, they're going to be very happy that they went, because I mean, you're really going to see definitely the best Rochefort.
Well,
the
Regurgitation
Rochefort.
could not have had a better side band to have that,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Well,
right?
that's what I
Yeah.
thought too. It's like, okay, it's
Yeah.
not the same band, but
Right.
you're still getting a good quality
Right.
band that you do not get to see every day.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're getting to see the best version of that band.
I agree.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, by far.
And plus,
By far.
it's
I mean, we're clicking and rocking.
it's a similar fan base as opposed to if you're just
Yeah.
to grab a thrash band or something.
Yeah.
As opposed to if somebody was like,
yeah.
hey, I was coming to see a brutal band, and now you replace it with Toxic Holocaust or something. Like, well, I don't like them. You know what I mean? Or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, you know, if you did like Regurg, you know,
Rochefort is great.
Yeah, Rochefort is really good. It's a different style, But I think too, a lot of the Regurg people, they support me.
Agreed.
Yeah. There's so many people out there.
I think you found out the best situation to do. Right.
You gotta work quick. You gotta fix shit. You can't let shit be broken. Especially if it's on you. That okay, well your band fucked up.
I don't want you to ever think that. No, I don't want you to ever think that.
But that's how I think. When a problem arises, I just try to fix it.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
Rochefort is going to be great to see.
Oh, Rochefort is going to be very
so
great to see.
they haven't played many shows.
Cigarette Bozo?
Right. They played
Class.
She's doing like The Shining with the chick with Dash. That was it's great. I love it
all the time.
I didn't get a pick of that. I should have got a pick.
I do it all the time. He's the first one to call me out though. So everybody will tell you that. But no, I think Rochefort was the next best thing to that.
Yeah,
no, are we gonna miss Regurg? Of course. Would it have been amazing? Yes. But you came up with a solution so quickly.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do. And I appreciate it. To my guys in Rochefort that okay. Well, that's the thing. Like I was talking earlier, I'm newer to the band, so it's like, you got to move a little bit slow with some people, so they really get to know you.
Yeah. Well, you can't take over the whole band.
No.
Right, you were saying that before.
No, you can't do that. But it's going really good in this band. It's better than ever in Rochefort right now. The music sounded killer. The new material is great.
So Beth wants to know if Brian is you're coming to Deathmetal. Is there a chance Rochefort is gonna go on a tour?
I hope so. I don't see it happening.
I hope so.
I do see definitely the new record will happen. It's gonna be great. Tours, I don't know.
They want you to come out west. So
I think we could come out west for like maybe a one-off show. I think anything's possible. Because the band's on fire right now, sounding good. Like I can't wait Sunday going down there for the day and rehearse and I think definitely some stuff will happen. Definitely.
Was it a surprise that he left?
No. No.
So you had time to figure it out.
Well,
did you just think he would do that show and then leave?
Well, we've been talking for a while to find, maybe like a fill-in or something. I'm like, well, what if Ben's gonna, at least do a couple shows a year or whatever. I'm cool with that, because that's all really we've ever done for years, and he just quit and wasn't surprised, very upset, but not surprised. So it's like, well, you know what? I look at the positive. Now we can move on from it. Like, okay, we'll get somebody new in the door. We're
Do they want Rochefort to come to Portland? They're just hitting it up now.
I tell you what, like I said, I think Rochefort, we probably will do some more shows, especially once the new record comes out, which is really good so far. Really good so far. We probably will do a lot more stuff. Like I said, I don't know if we'll tour, but I think, any good show offer, for something really cool, I definitely think we'll probably do in the future.
No, they're all asking.
Well, how much juice is my battery's got to be close to that. We've been on for over 3 hours.
Your battery dying, bro?
Well, it was freshly charged for 3 hours. It's got to be close to it. If there's any more little friction.
Oh, no.
About that?
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. So, I mean, is there anything last you want to say, Brian? Or
just
it's the longest live I've ever done.
That's okay. We'll do more of them.
Zerk said you're getting grumpy. They know.
They say I'm always grumpy.
The dog
Zerk knows he's getting grumpy. He already told me before, like, to check you, because you were getting grumpy before. Dog.
Hope to see everybody at Dead by Dog.
Oh, Beth Matt said Brian can come sit on my couch anytime and drink all my beer.
Hell yeah! I'm gonna take you up on that.
Well, he's a good boy.
Yeah, hopefully everybody comes out to Dead by Dog. Let's have fun, check out some good bands.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I'll be back on the show soon. You know, I enjoy doing this.
He said it's.
so.
Mike said it's past the dog's bedtime.
Ben past the dog's bedtime.
I know.
Now Baxter, he sleeps 4 hours a night.
Oh, I sleep when
He's
I
a good
can,
boy.
too.
All right, are we gonna say goodbye?
Yeah, just hit end.
All right. Well,
All right. Oh, I take a pisser real quick.
I bet.
okay.
Oh, the beer just goes through you quick.